So welcome to your pre-marriage counseling and orientation. The objective of this is the strengthening the foundation of this nation, which is what we call the family. So we are from the BCIDP Exclusive School for Couples. You may call me Miss Paula, no? Or Doc Paula. So I am from, of course, the BCIDP Law Group. We are a group of companies, and we are more of focus more on the family, um, parenting, marriage, and relationship. So I'm also a holder of Doctor of Philosophy and Pastoral Guidance and Counseling, Master of Arts, major in Psychology with specialization in Family Life Development. So konti lang po kaming kumuha ng course na yan. So just to specialize with the family. And I'm also a court annex mediator. So I will be discussing some of the cases I have handled in the court. So, konti lang din naman yun as part of the samples. And then, we are from, of course, DSWDM Capcom accredited pre-marriage counselor, certified relations and family advisor, also alternative dispute resolution, lecturer, and practitioner. So, the rest, nandyan na sa profile ko. So, nursing graduate din ako. So, I'll be, may mga, isisingit ako later on, no? About reproductive health, about family planning and everything. So, as we go through our discussion, napapasingit ko yung mga iba't ibang klaseng detalye na kailangan ninyo. Okay. So, this time, of course, for the rules, as I have told you a while ago, this is an interactive session. So, your attention is a must. And then, calls, of course. I hope so that you have you have my attention. And of course, hindi naman kayo mag-uusap dyan dahil magka-separate kayo ng videos. If you're missing some of the verbal lectures, just let me know so I would repeat it. And then I recorded, no? Documentation. Okay? So let's start with, so the whole session will be dealing with these sessions, no? 7 sessions, and I compressed it para lang magawa natin to in just a few hours. So session number 1, marriage. Session number 2, roles and relationships according to family code. Then session number 3, dealing with differences. Because mostly of the cases I've handled in the court, there would be more of the dealing with the differences. So we have to understand why, what are the differences between the men and women, and then of course potential marital issues, husband and wife needs, and marital conflict resolution. So the question is, why do you want to get married? Can I ask Jaime? Oh, Angela yung nauna. Pero I would want to ask
Si Jaime
Jaime.
na lang. Joking.
Yeah,
Oh,
because it's Jaime who
kumbaga,
proposed. Sino ba nag-propose? Sino nauna?
Si Jaime.
that's true. It was me.
Okay, yes. So I really want to ask Jaime why.
Well, I guess so that we can, officially spend our lives together and start a new life as a union, and to be able to provide more support to each other, especially when it comes to like expectations. Because while we're not married, people outside, like our families or friends, they don't see us as a union yet. So it doesn't
Mm,
like for outside expectations, we're not really expected to see each other as priorities yet until we're married. But I think at this point in our lives, well, I'm ready to make Angela a priority. So um, to make it official for both each other and for everyone else concerned, it makes sense to get married.
wow, thank you. Very well
Ang dami
said.
niya.
Hindi ganun masyado yung mga groom pag sinasagot yung ganitong question.
Talaga mo.
Huh? But for him, of course, it's complete. How about you, Angela? You have something to add on?
Sinabi na po ni Jaime lahat. Mas magaling po siya mag-articulate. Pero
Mm.
same sentiments din na officially starting our lives together. Tapos ngayon nga din parang we're physically apart. Kahit naman na Metro Manila kami pareho. Parang
Yeah.
nasa Alabang siya, tapos ako din actually sa Bulacan. So
Mm.
more on yung actual din na physical na pagsama, and then planning our lives na naka-center na couple kami, ganun.
Yes.
So, ayan.
Yes, yung makikita niyong legal na talaga yung pagsasama ninyo, 'di ba? And
Oo.
of course, the paper, the document that you'll be signing, that's the marriage certificate. And that's already a permanent union. So
Mm.
if you say permanent union, wala nang bawian yun. Have you been, how many times did you think about this?
Yung
Like getting
marriage
married?
in general.
Yes.
Ika parang nababanggit na rin naman namin siya by passing in
Mm.
the past few years na we were dating.
Mm.
Parang making sure lang na we're in the right um, status.
Okay.
Time.
Oh, it's good, no? Hindi naman to yung nagising na lang kayo bigla na gusto niyo magpakasal. Wala naman ganun.
Na-board lang yan. Tapos nagkasal. Hindi naman po.
Yes. So you know each other very well na.
More,
If
more.
The
so,
strengths, the weaknesses, the likes, dislikes.
I think so.
yeah.
Mm.
And I
So,
mean, I
yeah.
was gonna say
Mhm.
even after we get married, parang there's still more to learn and stuff. So like it'll be a whole different experience once we're married. Like it's not like we start from zero, but there's still a long way to go once we're married. And it's a journey that like it's good to experience together then.
Yes, and this really a good decision to have this pre-marriage counseling, and that you also chose to have it on private session, so that of course it could be focused more on you, more on your details, and it is more personal. Then now, because you already there entering into a marriage, this is also a relationship that is built on teamwork. So it's a teamwork now. It's not about you anymore. It's not about your own happiness. Tapos na kayo doon sa pagbibinata at pagdadalaga. So kung na-pursue nyo na everything that you want in life, your goals, no? Of course, you still have goals. So. But then, yung personal goals ninyo, like having a career, or to finish the school, finish and everything like that. So now that you're in a teamwork, kailangan iisa na lang yung goal ninyo, no? You have that unity when it comes to planning, setting goals, of course, mutual respect and a dose of admiration and a never-ending portion of love and grace to both of you. Then, according to Family Code of the Philippines, Executive Number 209, that this marriage is of course a permanent union between a man and a woman, and this one, the Family Code itself, focuses more on the family. So if you have been reading this Family Code, the number one article there is about marriage, because this is the most important, the marriage itself. So it is in accordance to with the law, the establishment of the conjugal and family life. So it is a special contract. This is not an ordinary contract that you have to put on your agreement, your own agreement, but in this one, this is fixed already. So when we say fixed, there's no turning back. Here in the Philippines, 'di ba, wala pa tayong divorce. At medyo mahirap talaga i-push through 'yun because of number one talaga, focus talaga natin is the foundation of the family. Pro-family talaga tayo. We don't belong to other countries na mas ino-honor nila yung divorce and their rights, no, to be free or freedom. Pero dito sa Pilipinas, we're still lucky to have that kasi once you have entered into marriage, it's really permanent. So, mahirap kumalas. Kaya it's really important to really have that decision, this major decision made by both of you na walang pumilit sa inyo. This is your personal decision na not because your mother, your parents, your family members want you to get married kasi wala na kayo sa kalendaryo. Should be your own personal decision. Yes. So the essential requisites of marriage is that no marriage shall be valid unless these essential requisites are present. So we have the legal capacity of the contracting parties. That's why you are required to have your senomar submitted, di ba? Your certificate of no marriage. Yes, and then it must be a male and a female. Then a consent really given in front in the presence of the solemnizing officer, the change of your I-do's is very important. Yeah, one question. What if kung may mga documents kayo like nagkamali kayo ng details, or maybe like example the solemnizing officer hindi nyo alam, invalid na pala yung kanyang CRASM or yung license niya, would it be considered as valid pa din? Considering I have given you 2 requisites of marriage, what do you think? Would it still be valid or not?
No,
Hindi na.
ba?
It's a
Kasi
tricky
solid
question.
solemnizing officer. So, hindi na po?
I
It
don't
is
know, di ba?
still
Oh,
valid.
Oh.
As long as it is registered at the local civil registrar, no matter how it is, no matter that would be just considered as irregularity.
Oh.
Sino lang yung sino lang yung magsasabi na invalid yung kasal ninyo? Only the judge, no? If kayo ay nagkakaroon na ng complaints or you don't love each other na, di ba? Nandun na yung annulment, nullity of marriage, voidable, something like that. But once that you're still okay, wala namang problema sa relationship ninyo, just irregularity. So, pwede naman siyang mapapakorek later on. Example, if we have some error, just 1 letter in your name or 1 letter sa name ng parents ninyo, just something with irregularity lang. It will not be considered as invalid. Court lang yung makakapagsabi. Kahit nga dito sa korte natin, napakahirap pong ipa-invalid yung isang kasal. Yung mga possibilities dyan, yung mga grounds, psychological incapacity. Isa yon sa grounds. Aside from that, yung iba medyo mahina na. Ngayon nga, kahit yung psychological incapacity, pag mayroong nag-witness sa parents or sa relatives na okay naman kayo, okay yung pagsasama ninyo, then hindi napapanigan ng judge yung psychological report. Ganon yun. So, ganon tayo sa Pilipinas. So, once na nagpatali ka na, once that you have already entered into marriage, mahirap na talaga kumalas. Kaya now pa lang, pag-isipan nyo mabuti. Kapag na si Jaime.
Isip.
Oo. And then, the authority of the solemnizing officer, like the judge, mayor, automatic yung kanilang authority. Yung iba naman, priest, rabbi, minister, they need to have the license from the Philippine authorities, statistics authority, the PSA. So that's the CRASM, no? So, pag wala naman kayong problem and then you have entered into marriage and then with the presence of the solemnizing officer, let's say, hindi nyo alam na expired pala yung kanyang license, you're still valid yung marriage niya because you are in good faith na nandyan kayo sa harap niya, you exchange I-do's in front of your witnesses. Then, this one, of course, this is a formal requisite of marriage. One of those, this is the marriage license. Pero in cases such as, mayroon din siyang mga exemption. Example, if you're both living together for 5 years, then you have your children, you have your kids, then sino pa ba yung maghahad lang sa inyo para magsama for a lifetime? Diba? if you have been living like living together and then you have all the kids and then wala namang impediments of marriage, walang kasal sa una or walang naghahabol, then pwede kayo ma-exempt sa marriage license. Pero if nabanggit nyo kanina that you're not still living together, then this is the one that you need the marriage license. So ano-ano pa ba yung mga exemptions sa marriage license? Yung point of death, no? Yung no means of transportation, the Muslim rights, no? Cultural communities, ethnic communities nila na Muslim, so they are not required to have marriage license. Then, yan, yung Article 34. So, now, any questions before I proceed with the roles and relationship?
None naman.
Okay, just let me know if I'm too fast, I'm too slow. Okay.
Okay lang.
Yan. So, if you have any questions, you can ask questions. So, hindi to katulad ng ibang seminars that you can only ask questions after. But in this one, you can ask questions now while I'm still on the screen. So both husband and wife, we have shared responsibilities, duties, and obligations. So it means that it is a shared responsibilities. It is not equal. So it is not fixed. So it will still up to you, the both of you, what you have decided on. It can be like the husband would to provide all the finances, and then the wife would do all the household, taking care of the kids. So it is still what we call the shared responsibilities, the duties and obligations. So it doesn't really require you to have both of you to have jobs and to have equal, no, equal contribution to the family. As long as both of you decided on it, or the husband provide everything that you need in the house and your household, and then the wife could also contribute what she can, no? Wala siyang pilitan, no? Or pwede rin siya na the wife who has more yung earnings ng wife rather than the husband. So may ganon. So it will depend on you. If it's really work on you, then it's okay, di ba? So the husband and wife, you're obliged to live together in one home in harmony. Kaya nga, di ba, mostly or naririnig din naman ninyo, kahit kanino naman, isa sa mga tip yan, best tip na pwede nyo marinig ay, pag kayo nag-asawa na talaga, mas mabuti talaga magbukod kayo sa pamilya ninyo. Diba? So, to have your own. And then, of course, you have to observe the mutual love, respect, and fidelity. So, mutual help and support. And then, you are jointly responsible for the financial, moral, psychological, spiritual support to the family. And that you are both to have a shared right and duty to manage the household. So it will just be the wife or the husband. Pareho kayo magde-decide. Anong kulay ng paint? Anong magiging design ng bahay ninyo? Hindi kayo papakialaman ng gobyerno doon. It is your freedom. Then now, we will do na naman questions. Okay, I will add more on that. So, you have also the freedom to exercise your profession, occupation, activity with the support of the other spouse. So, if one of you is a doctor, one of you is an engineer, and then si engineer sa Manila siya na-assign, si doctor naman doon na-assign sa probinsya, then kailangan nyo mag-usap. No? Kailangan nyo pag-usapan mabuti, openly, kung ano ba talaga yung magiging arrangement ninyo. Could be like of course the wife would still do his or her duty, and then the husbands go on and off, yung bang uuwi after weekend, and then makikita kasi magkaiba sila ng location. So that's something that you have to really have to talk to, no, kung mayroon ka yung ganong klaseng adjustments. Then the spouses shall take care of each other's health and wellness. The spouses shall be with each other's primary support system, and the spouses shall strike and work to resolve conflicts peacefully and amicably. One thing that I need to tell you is whenever you have some arguments, whenever you have some issues, you have to settle it on your own rather than to spread it or makipag-usap kayo sa barangay. It will spread all over your barangay, no? Maraming mga marites and everything, 'di ba? Na makakaalam pa ng situation ninyo. So, you have to settle it on your own and then 'pag hindi talaga niyo kinaya, then you have to ask the guidance from above, and then talaga 'pag ano, mas mabuti talaga na sa inyo lang muna bago siya mapunta sa parents. Kasi once napunta na sa parents, sa mga relatives, sa kamag-anak, lumalaki yung problema. So,
Agree.
yes. And if there's something that you need to seek professional help na, so you can get the services of psychologist, like us, counselors. We do marriage counseling also for the marital crisis. So that's something that you need to, kaysa you have to tell it to your friends because they cannot really help, no? They will just have, parang lalaki lang yung gulo. Lalaki lang yung problema yun na so as parang nasa inyo lang. Then, now, we move on with the dealing with differences. Mostly of the cases I've handled with sa court are mostly with ganito yung statement nila. The husband would tell me, ma'am, kasi hindi ko siya maintindihan eh, no? And then of course, the wife would also respond na, hindi ko rin siya maintindihan. Hindi niya ako naiintindihan. Oh, nandiyan na yung emotions. So the differences between men and women, of course, are the communication styles and the thinking patterns. Of course, our brain differs in sizes. Men have the bigger size, no, sa brain, when it comes to brain. And tayo na mga babae, medyo maliit yung shape ng ating brain than them. And they are more of yung logical, when it comes to logical thinking, problem solving, mathematics, that mas okay, mas maano yung chances ng sa mga lalaki kaysa sa atin ng mga babae, we are more of the ano naman, we are creative, we are more of the creative, we're more of visual and emotional. Mas nauuna yung feelings rather than yung thinking natin. But for them, thinking first before the feelings. So this one, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, John Gray. So this is one of the author that I have read about, no, yung mga may versions na siya, 3 versions of the book with the differences. So have you heard about this one?
I've
Just the name.
heard, pero hindi ko pa po nababasa.
Yeah. So many authors din naman yung that have wrote already a book dealing with the differences. So not only him, but also Miles Monroe, John no? Maxwell, something like that, mga iba't ibang klaseng authors. When I read about them, they are just telling the same stories. They're still telling us the same ideas, pero magkaiba lang yung kanilang perception. Magkaiba lang kanilang yung explanation nila. Pero when you have to it's still the same, no? Yung iba-iba lang yung mga stories na nailagay sa books nila. So now, understanding the differences according to experts, according to scientists, psychologists, eto daw, no? Yung mga women. At ito naman yung men. So it's kind of stereotyping when you have it try to read all of this because mostly of this one can be contributed to different factors. Example, the one who raised you, your child rearing, the environment, no? Your traditions, your beliefs, your cultures. And mostly of the foreigners, American would tell me that this is not something, that this is stereotyping because this is not fixed. So when you ask them questions, why they are different, why they are 50-50, And sometimes it's opposite. When you try to, you have to ask for the background, and then they would tell you that the husband was raised by her mom and the wife was raised by her father. So talagang nagkakaiba, no? Nagiging dependent si husband, nagiging independent si wife. Nag-iiba sila. Mas smart si wife, and then si husband naman mas dependent sa kanyang wife. So mayroon din mas dramatic si husband, then si wife naman yung mas dominante, strong yung personality. It's because of that, no? Pag tinanong ko sila, why is that so, no? Na parang siya pa yung laging umiiyak, si husband. And then when I knew about their stories, pinalaki pala siya ng kanyang mother, lola, tsaka aunties. And then the wife niya, totoong story to, no? Sa Quezon City, the wife naman was raised by an independent woman naman, pero tumayo na bilang husband and wife at the same time. Kaya strong, independent woman talaga siya. Kaya nung nag-asawa siya ng foreigner na pinalaki ng lola, siya yung nasusunod. Dito na sila sa Quezon City nakatira. Oo, siya na yung nagma-manage everything. Siya yung mas logical. Oo, may ganun talaga. So, it happens. Now, what I want you to to know more is about yourselves, about your partner. No? Siyempre, I have to present you the studies made by the experts. And then, your personalities, yung kayo mismo, what are those? So, this is just something that is little of activity. How do you call each other? What's your terms of endearment?
Uh,
Our names.
Tawag ko
We
lang
just
po
use,
sa kanya yung nickname niya. Ado.
Ado?
Ado po yung
yeah, because
nickname.
my second name is Regalado. I just call her Angela.
Angela. Okay. So whenever the description would kung sorry. So whenever you see it in the screen, you would say Angela, Ado, Angela, or both. Okay? So let's see. Who is talkative?
It
Angela.
depends. But sige, I'll say Angela. Between the
In
two of
general.
us, yeah. In general,
Oh, really, Angela? So you're more talkative than Jaime.
Oh, pero mas
Maybe it's because of
articulate.
Okay.
I feel like with each other, it's
Mm.
her. But if they're like strangers or other people, it's probably me.
Okay, so
But
it's
Medyo shy ako pag hindi kilala.
okay. So are you extra or intro or none?
we're both intro.
Intro words kami pa.
Okay. But you dwell more with people, di ba? Pero pag kayong dalawa lang, of course, you want it intimate, you want it only the two of you, and then you just choose the one who want to talk to, di ba? Oh, parang shy type ka sa iba, no? Yung ka-join ka, ano mo lang yung parang kapareho mo ng mga, yung almost parang kapareho mo mag-isip. So, that's it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, who is direct or straightforward?
Ado.
Ado,
Yeah, because of being logical. You
I
get to
guess.
the point rather than, iba pag babae kasi syempre, paikot-ikot yan. No?
Parang ayaw mo makasakit, kaya
Yes, exactly. That's the reason why more women are indirect because of being empathetic. Being empathetic, considering the feelings of the partner or whom is going in conversation too, and dealing with that feelings. Ano mafe-feel niya? And we keep on assuming things na baka pag ganun ma-hurt lang siya. So you would rather choose to keep it on our own, diba? But sometimes we cannot control it. Sometimes we have this thing that we really want, and we want our partner, the husband, to be a mind reader. And that's something that he doesn't really want that to be, diba? Because they want us to be direct. They want us
Mm.
to tell them what exactly we want. Yes.
Agree.
Maybe when you're dealing with, of course, with Jaime, it's good to be direct also.
Mm.
No.
Oh, actually before ganun din ako. Parang mas cautious ako when I say things. Pero I
Mm.
think it improved naman over the years.
Yeah, when you know each other naman, you know Jaime naman, how will he react on
Mm.
matutuwa siya o hindi. But whenever you think na parang hindi siya matutuwa, then have a better timing.
Mm.
No, yung with conditioning. Conditioning, you're trying to tell him slowly as it can be, step by step.
Mm.
That's conditioning. Okay. So now moving on, who is more organized? Planning, decision making, household.
Angela.
Angela.
Oh, Angela. Is this something that you plan for the trip also, or you plan for a date, or is this the household, the things around you, or what?
Ikaw in general lang din. Actually, we're both organized naman.
Mm.
Pero in terms of more, feel ko mas planner ako. Or like, I plan ahead. Usually kasi si Ate parang hindi pa siya, parang
Yes.
magpa-plan siya pag malapit na, ganun.
Pero
Yeah.
most, yeah, and majority of the men ganyan naman talaga, no? Kasi tayo we have the tendency to overthink eh. We have the tendency
Mm.
to think multiple things in just one moment, right? We have the tendency to do that, multitasking. So, matagal pa, malayo pa, iniisip na natin. Especially
Mm.
this one, your marriage, your wedding preparations. So, who among you, who do all the legworks?
I think shared
Equal
naman.
naman. Yeah,
Okay.
depending on who is better to handle it.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ako lang
especially
yung
with
more parang feel ko may need ako to schedule things in advance. So parang kahit next month pa siya gagawin, like,
mm,
isusulat ko na siya sa calendar ko. But
yes.
then is also organized, like in terms of like handling the talking with suppliers or
Mm-hmm.
talking with uh venue, and then yung sa church nga din, ito siya yung nag-register. So,
Yes.
share naman.
Okay, so when it comes to details kasi, it is more of us,
Mm.
women. We are more of the detail oriented. But for them, they are goal oriented. So they focused on the
Mm.
highlights, they focused on the results, they focused on the major things. But for you, 'di ba, Angela, kahit yung mga small details, 'di ba? Parang pinoproblema mo pa yung color, yung motif, number of guests, your
Agree.
your guest list. But for them, oh, bahala na. I just want to get married. Ayan, ganun lang. Okay.
Mm.
So, next would be who falls first? Who falls asleep first?
Angela.
Ako.
Okay. Yeah, because so we have this monthly period. Our iron decreases every month. So the more that we need more sleep. And then it is also that we tend to be tired at the same time, 'di ba? Konting kilo syempre. Nandun yung parang pagod ka agad.
Mm.
Yeah. So the decrease of the iron and our hormonal imbalances every month. That can be one of the factors. So next would be who is showy and clingy.
Hmm. Parang,
Hard.
parang hindi kami
Depends.
pareho.
Yeah.
So how you do affection? Sometimes you do it privately.
Apo, private. Fiko ako,
Yeah.
Angela.
Mm. Who send letters, chat messages more most of the time? Both of you.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe me a bit more just because in general she's more busy. So work.
Okay.
But it's I think it's about the same naman.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm.
Pero we're not showy in general pag may ibang tao, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yes. So, who cries a lot?
Angela.
Who who become dramatic? Okay.
Confirmed yung sa emotional yung girls. Joke din.
Yes. Okay. So, who gets annoyed easily?
Oh, Ado? Feel ko I'm more controlled in terms of anger.
Emotions or anger?
Parang hindi ako madaling, ano sige, wait. Baka ako pala.
It's I think it depends. Maybe for work, it's Angela, but
Just
in
cause more
every
stress.
yeah,
Mm.
in everyday life, I'll find things to be annoyed with. Just wala lang.
Ah,
I'll always I'll always have something to not something to say, but I'll find something in
oo.
general.
Usually, mas
Okay.
patient ako eh, pag if may inconvenience, ganyan. Patience. Pero pag sa work
Okay.
kasi, pag stress, mabilis, mabilis din akong ano eh.
Do you see if when it happens kung may mga triggers ba? You know when you know that it will happen soon? May mga sign ka na nakikita or
Usually, my triggers naman, like, my reason for the
mhm.
annoyance.
Yeah, but if it keeps on repeating, 'di ba? The same.
Mm.
Especially with your expectations, work, and everything, 'di ba? So it's good. Okay, so it's good to know that you can also control it, though. You can manage it well. Okay, now moving on. That men and versus women. So men touches, no? Including pats, back slaps, shoulder touches. But we, of course, women, we are more of the eye contact. You know exactly it is, di ba, Jaime? If Angela feels mad, angry, it can show to her expressions, eye contact, a tiger look, maybe far from the gate, and then you would see it, how mad she is. You can see it full of emotions. Angela, am I right?
Ano, totoo ba? I think so naman.
Yeah,
May,
maybe
parang gets
not
niya din.
super.
Yeah, kasi we usually, I guess parang we don't see each other as much nga kasi medyo
Mhm.
magkalayo. Pero kahit sa chat, he kind of feels it na pag may something
Oh
off.
yeah, something off, something. If do you feel something wrong, something like that.
Mhm.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been in a relationship, being together as partners?
Officially 5 years.
Mhm.
Kaka 5 lang.
Okay, so you are in the first level of first challenge in relationship, first 5 years.
Mm,
Because the
Mm,
next level would be 10 years and then 15 years. This is
mm,
the first this is the first very challenging level of relationship, first 5 years. But middle of it, 3 years, most of the couples get to fight. Would have
mm,
more trials on the third year of marriage or relationship. So the first 5 years is the first milestone in the level of marriage. Then another 5 years, another 5 years is another milestone. So now, goal oriented for the men and for us, we are detail oriented. That's why we have the tendency talaga to think more of the motif, the color, the combination, venue, different, different details. And sometimes it is not already in line with the goal,
mm,
especially if you have the budget. So you only have like 500,000 budget for the whole, for the wedding, for the marriage, for the preparation and everything. And then when you see it from Lazada, Shopee, you see different decorations, no? You will just say na, Abu, can we add this one? This is not in our budget, but I want it. Something like that. So, But for them, of course, to just get married is already good, no? It's good, no? But for us, it's really a lot of things to think of. Then they, of course, focus on the literal meaning of the sentence. When they say it, they really mean it. But for us, we go deeper on the meaning of what he's trying to say. So, example, if he says like, what happened to your hair? Or can you change your for a while? So, can you just comb or something like that? But for us, we feel like, what? What do you mean? I'm ugly? I'm not pretty to you anymore? Am I not attractive to you anymore? Oh. But whereas he's just telling you to just fix your hair, or sometimes it may give them allergy if you have too much colors, or what is this or chemicals that we use in our hair. It sometimes gives them allergic reaction. So that is why they want you to fix that, because it gives them rashes or what. So as a wife, you would feel like, what? You didn't really appreciate it. I want to rebond, I went to salon to fix my hair, and then you don't even appreciate it. Something like that. So have you been in that kind of conversation wherein you have that misunderstanding?
Not super,
Naman.
not, I mean, not that specifically, but there are
Yeah.
instances where I'm focusing on the literal meaning while
Yes.
she's focusing on the underlying. So there's a bit of a disconnect naman, but
Mhm.
maybe not the specific na about
Yes,
hair
yes,
Na
yes,
stuff.
yes.
Yeah,
kasi
yeah.
nga
I
minsan
get,
mas hindi ako direct.
Uh-uh. Yeah, so that's just one of the examples. But then it could always be a different situation.
Agree.
So of course they do not exhibit more of the facial expression because we does. Huh? Then we are more indirect because we want to consider the feelings, of course, and we can be diplomatic. Huh? But for them, if they really mean, if they really want to tell it to you, straight to your eye, then they really want to tell it to you, no matter what. But sometimes it would affect our feelings, no? But for them, it's just normal. Just for them, oh, that's what I mean. No?
Mhm.
Yun lang naman, gusto lang naman niya sabihin. Oh, pero hindi nila din alam na yun pala yung feelings natin, ibang-iba. Yeah. Then now, moving on. So, of course, Jaime, you need to remember that may mga times talaga na Angela would talk to you about problems, to get close to you, to get your attention, but not necessary to get solutions, because that we want to be heard, we want to be listened to, we want yung bang pakikirama, you want yung nakikinig, or sometimes we just mean to have, like, we want a hug, we want a kiss, but because of being indirect, we cannot really tell it right straight to your eye that we really need that. We just want you to be a mind reader. Sometimes we cannot really understand ourselves, eh. 'Di ba, Angela?
Mm. Totoo po yan,
Three of
babe.
us, we just, I don't know. Oh, we don't know why we feel something like this. But
Tama.
it's just because of our hormones, no? We have imbalances in our hormones. It increases our progesterone and estrogen. Especially the estrogen can also gives us different mood. That's why if we are taking pills, we're taking artificial contraceptives, it gives us really a lot of mood swings, more of irritability because of the chemicals, no? The increase and decrease of the hormones in our body affects our yeah, our feelings, our emotions. So then for the men, they are motivated when they feel needed. And for us naman women, we are more motivated when we feel cherished. Ibang-iba, 'di ba? Yung mga pag yung nasa-spoil ka na, everything, attention, love, care, gustong-gusto natin 'yan. But for them, they want that we always need them, no? Like example, you would say, do I want you to be by my side? So gusto nila yung ganun. Do you agree with this, Jaime?
Yeah, a bit naman. Like, I guess it depends then also on,
Yes.
yeah, I feel like, yeah, in most cases that is true naman. Because they kind of do align with the previous thing. So it's about,
Mm.
yeah, women want to get close, so it's about being cherished, while men look for solutions. So that's how they feel validated in terms of being needed. Parang if they can provide a solution. So those two
Yes.
statements do go hand in hand. And I think, yeah, there is truth to it. Yeah.
And that is true that I also read about this that because you, of course, you always want to give solutions, especially when your partner is trying to tell you, sharing with you, like how they are in workplace or in their personal, whatever personal it is, and then you have the tendency, of course, to give them solution because you are a logical thinker, you are a problem solver, you are a leader, you are born a leader, and your partner is a born supporter, motivator, the one who would be there for you as a team. Of course, you're a team. So it really works for the two of you to have that, no? Then, so let's move on with how the surveys goes for the argument. Why husband and wife or men and women argued about. So these are the things. So mostly of the results that we got from that surveys are, first is about money because it's versus the expectations in reality. Before they get married, they feel like, oh, it's like unicorn, rainbows. I think it's a fairy tale of being in love, and then when they already got married, they have this a lot of responsibilities, given that they have to pay their bills, pressures, having children, unplanned pregnancies, then really a lot of that they have that they have planned ahead. So that's the reason behind this. And marrying, of course, a partner or a husband with no direction or no any plans. So any plans for the future, just to eat 3 times a day. So that's something that would have make um problem or an issue in marriage. Miscommunication would mostly happens to those who have long long distance relationship, no? They don't have this much time to talk about, to openly talk about their problems or whatever it is, their day-to-day daily activities. And this communication also happens to those who are living together as husband and wife, living together in one home. Given that they are both busy with their work, they're both pressures in their career, and you married, of course, a career dependent person. So that's the problem when you get married, and then the partner would have the goal of having to be more of the career rather than the family, and he or she focuses on the career itself rather than his or her family, because it happened. Yes, it really happens in real life. We have a friend, it's a judge, and now she's more of regrets. Every time that we spoke to her, she would always tell us stories about how she regrets her life having being a career woman, and really aim to be a judge. And then the husband is a lawyer, maintains as a lawyer, just stay as a lawyer to be with the children and the kids. So when the children are already growing up, we're all professionals, they never had really chance to visit or to stay with their mom. They would rather choose to stay with their dad, and they're both separated na because of the goal of that judge, the judge mother, their mother. who really have that career to be a judge or justice soon, no? Ganun lang talaga siya. So, when she regrets, she told me about na kung maibabalik ko lang, no, I just hope so. I spent time with them. I was really a tough mom. I didn't really have time for them. All of my time are mostly spent in reading cases, everything, resolving other problems. So what she did, of course, she invested on realties, invested on properties for her children. But then the children decided to have their own, on their own, no? To have their own house and lot. So nabaliwala yung ininvest ng kanyang mother or sa kanilang that one, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. Nabaliwala yung US, Pangasinan, Tagaytay, Manila properties. Kasi yung apat na anak niya, they chose to live in the other countries, Canada, US. So, nung nag-pandemic, never naman daw nag-chat or never nakipag-video chat sa kanya. 'Di ba?
Ang lungkot.
Ang lungkot, 'di ba? So, sabi niya, she have everything na. Money, properties, sabi niya. Pero yung wala sa kanya, yung anak niya. So that's something that you really need to right now, no? So you have to invest in your relationship, especially with your children, your family. So what else, no? So this is really important. Why? Especially with those couple who really wanted to conceive and then hindi sila nakakabuo. Now my question is, are you planning to conceive within the year, within 2 years time, or what? This is a question for both of you.
Maybe not soon, pero
Mm.
we're still planning to have a family naman in the future.
Yeah, maybe in 2 years time, or do you have that infinite time na
I guess it depends
year?
then on like certain things like market conditions and like where we decide to settle down because school isn't like parang you can't just think
Mm.
about the short term, like the long term implications are also important. And then
Mm.
like how will they visit their grandparents or it's also managing expectations. So and yeah, it depends then like money is also going to be an
Yes,
issue such as
finances, of
education
course.
and that also
You
determines
are
how many
exactly right.
we have and in
Mm.
the span of time. But say we'd want to have a family, but in the immediate um like in the next year or so, probably not, just because we're still
Mm.
settling down with work, and then we'll also have to settle down as a couple because
Yes.
we don't live together now. So
Mm. So that's
we
the
have to
first thing
figure
that you
that
need
out
to
too.
do, of
Mm.
course.
Hmm.
That's a
Yeah,
good
figure
thing.
that out.
Okay, so since you have that kind of planning, it's better to have your natural family planning, or have you been using such contraceptive methods for a while, Angela?
Wala naman.
This abstinence
Ah,
or
Yeah,
not
generally that way.
affairs?
The church approved contraception.
church approved contract.
Yeah, that's the
It's true.
natural.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah, right, Angela. That's
Mm.
the natural fertility, or that's the natural family planning, wherein you
Mm.
have to plan which will be your safe days and not safe days. So if you are in regular 28 days cycle, are you?
Pa regular naman.
Okay, so we have regular days like 28 to 32
Mm.
days of your menstrual cycle. The first 7 days, from the first day of your menstruation to the seventh day, is considered as safe days. And the seventh day before your menstruation is also considered as your safe days. So it is before and during, 7 days before and during. And you also have to watch out for your mucus, no? Your cervical mucus. So whenever you have a clear mucus, the stretches 2 inches up, that's considered as you are fertile on that day.
Mm.
So when you are fertile, you have abstinence or no sexual contact during that
Mm.
time, because it would be 100% or 80 to 100% possibility of getting pregnant. And then whenever you have also the cervical mucus of more than 2 inches and then it's cloudy, you're still fertile, huh? But there's a tendency of having girl instead of a boy, you know.
Oh,
So
ganun
Wait, you can
yeah,
control that?
cloudy. Yeah, because the sperm that the female sperm or the sperm that produces female are those who can really travel very well because of the DNA content. They are more of the DNA content rather than the male. That is why it is very easy. It is much easier to have a girl rather than a boy, because the boy should be done during the ovulation period only. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
interesting.
pretty cool.
yeah, because they
Nice to
travel.
know.
Yeah, the one who has the male chromosomes could travel fast, but then dies first. They die first inside, so they can only stay up to 3 days in the cervix. But for the female, because of their DNA content, more of the DNA, they can stay up to 5 days inside the uterus or inside the cervix. So whenever you reach your ovulation period, you would be surprised. Wow, I'm pregnant. Why? Because it can be that you have this that female chromosome or the female sperm stays up to 5 days in the cervix. So it's better to have or to see if you are fertile or not fertile. So whenever you have that mucus plug, it can be checked through squat position.
Mhm.
When you squat position in the bathroom, you can use a sterile gloves, or you can also have tissue or your bare hand, as long as you don't have this long nails now. So just
Mm.
3 inches, then try to get some samples, and then you have to stretch it. If it breaks without reaching 2 inches, then considered as you are infertile, no? You're
Mm.
infertile. But if it reaches 2 inches and more, and then it is very stretchy, the color is transparent or cloudy, as long as it is stretchy up to 2 inches, then it is fertile. So whenever you're fertile, so there will be a tendency, a chance of having pregnant. So you can also use ovulation tracker
Mhm.
application. You have to get your 6 months menstrual cycle. So we have a computation, no? Whenever you have irregular menstrual cycle. So you have to take note of this. You have to subtract 18 from your shortest cycle. Example, your shortest cycle is 25. Let's say if it happens to have 25, then you have to subtract 18. So able for you to get your fertility.
Oh, so can put mostly 7.
Do you think you have the 25? Have you
Um,
been?
actually nagta-tracker po ako na
Mm,
app, pero never ko siyang tinignan talaga na parang binilang. More or less, like accurate naman yung pag-predict niya nung
mm,
next ko. Pero hindi ko pa talaga siya tinitignan how long my cycles are or kung kailan
okay.
ko talaga fertile.
Maybe you have to get it. Mas better to have both the manual and both in the
Mm.
application, so that you can compare both. And then you can also try to get your temperature, body temperature, the moment that it rises to zero point 0.4 from your normal temperature, then it would be considered that would be the peak of your ovulation. Because
Oh.
during our ovulation, our progesterone rise, no? Increases. So when the progesterone increases, we feel hot. Yung bang you
Mhm.
feel like, oh, I think I'm pero hindi, pag tinignan mo yung temperature mo, you're still normal. Wala kang lagnat. No? So that's the presence of
Mhm.
progesterone or the increase of progesterone in your body system. So when you feel hot and then you have that stretchy, it means you are on the peak of your ovulation. So
Mhm.
you can use condom or abstinence. May mga emergency. There would be also emergency ECP. That's what we call ECP, but that's really safe. No, that's safe because of the side effects that it may cost you. May cost you pain, back pain, serious bleeding, nausea, vomiting. So it can be, of course, it can be it you can buy it through Mercury, but it's not really that. Not all,
Advice.
no, not all.
Mhm.
They only, as long as you have the prescription,
Mhm.
and maximum of only 5 tablets in a week's time or in a month. You cannot have more than, because it um can also, it is not, it is harmful for the uterus, too much of it.
Mm.
And when you already want to conceive later on, maybe in a 3 to 3 years time, um it is better to have it done in the morning, between 5
Oh.
7:30 in the morning. Why? Because the sperm is more concentrated, it is more of a perfect shape, motility during those time, and because of the hormones that was released during our sleep. So we have our cycle of sleep, like 1.5 to 2 hour cycle per sleep, right? So during our third, or the NREM 3, that's the time that our body releases hormones. That's like sex hormones, or some healthy hormones that could help our body heals or can replenish our body. So it includes that. So whenever you have that contact in that time, so buong buo pa siya. Unlike with those who have it in the later days, like evening, ano na siya, tired na, pagod na, o
Mm.
hindi na siya kompleto. Kaya yung mga gustong makabuo, the reason behind of that, masyado silang pagod sa trabaho, that they're still trying. They would say they were trying, no? But then they don't know that their system is not really, it's not giving them that purpose, no? If because they do it at the wrong timing.
Time.
Okay. So then, decisions, of course, the scheduling, the time management, the cultures and values, the parenting styles. If you already have your kids, your children, you have only one parenting styles. Because if not, your children will be confused of whom to follow. The mother, the father, what
Mm.
kind of parenting is that? The strict one is the authoritarian. The one is strict but still consider the feelings that authoritative. And the one who doesn't have really rules inside the house, who with the tendency to spoil the children or the kids, that's permissive kind of parenting. And then the last one is the uninvolved. Uninvolved doesn't really matter whatever happens to the children. So, and that's the worst kind of parenting. So, before you're gonna have the children, make sure you have discussed this with you. Then the household responsibilities, the boundaries and differences. If you have been reading some of the news, no, may mga celebrities pa rin na nagsasabi na, I have my own boundaries. 'Di ba?
Mm.
So, those boundaries could with respect on your own personality and individuality. Like if you don't want to hug and kiss during the time that you are busy at work, then that's your boundary. So, and also that if you are like Cheese Escudero and Heart Evangelista. Evangelista don't yung hindi siya nagpapalit ng damit niya sa room. She do it in a separate room. She just wanted to do yung naghuhubad siya pag when there are about to do sexual activity. But then pag hindi, that's the boundary na ayaw niya pakita yung katawan niya pag wala naman silang plano. So that's one considered as priority, as your boundaries also. It may depends on you. It may differ kasi. Depende yun sa partners. So, mayroon din, you know, there's one case, no, na naalala ko. Of course, they have separated na because of, you know what? Just because of the fart.
Ah,
Yeah.
valid na reason po ba yun for
Hindi siya,
separation?
hindi siya valid. Pero, talaga, naghiwalay sila, natulpo pa nga
Pero,
eh.
grabe, na-push.
Yeah. Because, sabi ng husband kasi, that's his boundary, no? Sabi niya, whenever we have, when we have it in sa room natin, pag may umutot, kailangan umalis, no? At ayaw. Kaya lang, the wife naman, yung kanyang, ano naman, reason. Sabi niya, magkasama na tayo, eh. Dapat kung anong amoy na tanggapin mo. So, parang, you're crashing into the boundary. So, ko respect din kasi yan eh. That's also one of, na kailangan mo i-consider sa partner mo, no? So, pag ayaw niya, eh, kailangan mo talagang gumawa ng paraan para, you have to go out talaga. Yeah, totoo. Nagkakaroon ng problema sa ganyan. No? So, now, this is a study made by the University of Hospital in Zurich that they get samples from 7,000 plus men and they got 12,000 plus women. So ito yun, the reasons behind this that semen samples collected between 5 to 730 are those who exhibit high sperm concentration, total sperm count, higher percentage of normally shaped sperm and compared to those samples produced later in the day. Okay? So, do you want to have some break muna for a while? Stretching, water,
Ako, goods
bladder
naman.
break.
Ikaw,
I'm
ano?
okay. No, I'm okay. This is interesting.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, let's move on. Of course, you can have your coffee, you can have anything with you. Now, of course, for the husband and wife, the big four causes of separation here in the Philippines, according to the survey from the courts, are first, financial problem, lack of communication, infidelity, and domestic violence. So, one that's not in the big four are the psychological incapacity. So, psychological problem. So, when both husband and wife learn to approve, validate, they don't have to argue. They can discuss and negotiate differences. Yes, you can always have that. And let's move on to the communication. I know you're doing well with your communication, and just want you to focus on the communication as your master, as one of the major part of your relationship. That is it is best in an open, honest, and non-confrontational environment. And then also that you need to consider that it requires speaking and understanding, because it may be that you are listening but you don't understand really what exactly your partner is trying to tell you, or it may be you have different perception on the language that they've been using. So iba yung meaning sa kanya doon sa gusto mong isabihin. So it's better to clarify also that if you understand it well, or you understood it the way she wants it to, or he wants it to. So also a good listening skills is very important, and the nonverbal cues like eye contact, posture, the gestures, the facial expression, how do you say it, the tone of voice could really have an impact in communication. So kaya 'di ba pag sinabi mo Jaime na you love Angela, 'di ba parang pag yung tone of voice niya medyo galit, or pag hindi mo nakikita sa mata niya, no, yung sincerity. So, So, 'di ba? So, that is why 7% lang yung words and it's more of the gestures. It's more
Mm.
of the yung mga facial expression. Now, moving on, no? What are those that can improve our communication? What are these essential requisite? This is three essentials. Whenever your partner is trying to say something, please don't interrupt. Just listen. And the number two is the no new statements. It's about your relationship. It's better to use we. Let's
Mm.
do it. We, something about it. So then, no always, no never statements. But instead, what would you be? Just filter those words. Why? It could really mean I mean a lot when you say always. You're just parang dinidig out mo yung past.
Mm.
So women, we have the tendency to do this most of the time because we have the tendency we are more of digging the past. Sometimes we dig the past. We are the best what is the gerontologist? What they call this? Huh? Yung geologist, yon.
Mm.
Because we are good in digging the past. Here, so we are speaking in different languages. That men and women languages had the same words, but their reviews, but how they are going, how they are used, gave a different meanings. Example, si Angela said, "We never go out." And then Jaime would say na, "What? That's not true. We just went out last week." Huh? But you know what? What we are really trying to tell, anong gusto lang natin sabihin dyan, Angela, is tatanggalin natin yung never. Let's filter the never. Yun lang naman talaga gusto natin sabihin dyan. We go out. Let's go out. 'Di ba? Yun lang naman gusto talaga natin. Kaya lang minsan, naiiba. No? Naiiba yung nasasabi natin na instead of we just want to say like, can we go out now? I want to, gusto ko mamasyal or something like that. But then, minsan naiiba yung nasasabi natin, sinabi natin, di na tayo lumalabas. Nagiging
Mm.
negative. For us, we just want na, yun lang naman talaga gusto nating sabihin. Because we want na our partner would be the one to suggest it. Na gusto mo lumabas na lang tayo. But then, unexpectedly, iba pala yung sinasagot nila. Kaya nadi-disappoint tayo. Ah. So, next would be, we have, of course, ito yung sinasabi na to, I'm tired at work. And then, of course, our partner, our husband, has a tendency to do and to give us yung solution,
Solutions.
permanent solution na, and would have permanent solution to a temporary problem. So, if you don't like your job, then quit. That's permanent. That's solving our problem permanently. But what we're really trying to say there is we want a massage. We just want attention. We just want a hug. We just want a kiss. Or we just want to be heard. Gusto lang natin magkwento. Kung ano
Mm.
nangyayari sa atin sa work. Okay. So now, is it, it's okay. I'm okay. When they say they're okay, they are really okay. Di ba, Jaime? Di naman kayo
Yeah,
nagtatago, di ba? Na pag
yeah.
I'm just okay. Yes, I am. Even it means that they can manage it, whatever it is. They can control it. They can manage it. So, but for us, parang hindi tayo naniniwala agad. No? We say like, oh, I know there's something wrong. What is it? Can you share it to me? And then they have this kind that they would rather have it solved on their own because they
Mm.
want us to do. They don't want us to be involved in that problem as being a problem solver and logical thinker. So that's what we call the caveman, wherein they're trying to solve their own problem on their own, and they would just walk for a while, just take some air, and then because for them they can manage it. So, parang sinasabi sa'yo na, okay, just stay put. Diyan ka lang. Oh, carry ko to. I can manage it well. So, but when they say that, yes, just respect that decision na they just want it alone for a while. And then when they're ready naman na to share it with us, then they will be the one to tell it to us. Di ba, Jaime? It sometimes happen. Na?
Yeah, I can see that.
Mhm. Kaya tayo, wag na tayong magpumilit, no? Pag may ganun silang idea. They need that also, eh. What they call also the decompress and the reflection. That's one of the daily needs. So, it's no problem. But for us, wow, it's a problem. I could help. Of course, we always want to offer ourselves. We always want to offer something that we can. But sometimes it could help not to. It just to be there. Just be there. Parang gusto lang nila, okay, just be there, no? Whenever I need you, then okay, sabihin ko na sa'yo to, and I would. Ganon. Pero pag when they're not yet ready to tell you, ayaw nilang pinipilit natin sila sabihin yun. Parang ganun din. It's the same with their boundaries. Parang naano na din natin yung boundaries nila pag when we're crushing their own boundaries. Now, we are already in the conflict resolution in marriage. So, you can help me with reading those one line per line. Maybe we'll start with Jaime and then next Angela, Jaime, Angela.
Okay.
Okay? First one is,
Focus on the issue at hand. Avoid bringing up the past.
so what is your take about this, Jaime?
Uh, yes, as much as possible to focus on the current issue. Although it is hard to avoid bringing up the past, like it's common nature, especially if the past is
Mm-hmm.
somewhat related, diba? But um, I think avoid is a good mentality, but you have to be aware that it's always going to be there because it happened na eh. And
Yeah.
especially if it's related, it's gonna come. But I think if you're trying to get a solution, yes, you should focus on the issue at hand. But parang if if there's more to it than just the solution, just trying to air out things, then I think it's
Yes.
not necessarily a bad thing to bring up the past. But it depends nga what the
Yes.
goal is. I mean, if it's to resolve conflict, it depends nga on the conflict. But yeah, the statement is very apt naman.
Mm-hmm. So, the tendency of bringing up the past, no? Pag bumabalik pa din siya, it means mayroon pang konti na hindi pa na-resolve, no? Mga time na yun that you need more, no? Parang we are at it na, we are on the solution part na, but then parang may kulang. Parang hindi pa natin siya talaga completely done or resolved. Like example, if you're dealing with pagiging maldita, no? Angela, or pagiging suplado ng isa sa inyo, and then it happens again, may time pa talaga na parang hindi pa talaga siya talaga 100% na kasi may mga bagay pa din talaga na hindi natin naiiwasan, uncontrollable situation wherein this is na naman, this is it can be considered naman kasi gano'n naman talaga, we're not really perfect and out, and may mga weaknesses pa rin talaga tayo. We have this ano pa rin na this part of the personality wherein we're trying to adjust and adjust pa. So when it happens again, syempre nababalik, eh, gano'n ka talaga, maldito ka talaga. Nagiging gano'n yung nagiging ano ninyo, ah, instead of negotiation. But then after that, then try to move on and okay, so let's move on. Ito na yung gagawin natin next para mas maiwasan pa natin yung mga gano'ng issues. So next, Angela, please.
Seek out a compromise.
So this one works with negotiation, or you have some differences. So how do you deal with this one? Compromise.
I think medyo parang good good naman kami in terms of compromising kasi we're not
Mhm.
both aggressive people. I mean, pareho kasi kaming introverted and then hindi naman din kami yung tipong aggressive nga with what we want.
Mm.
So, tingin ko yung seeking out a compromise is kaya naman siya basta mapag-usapan or parang
Yes.
basta hindi lang i-bury yung issue,
Yeah.
pag-usapan.
As long as you are both ready naman, 'di ba, of course, yung win-win solution na to come up into a win-win solution na ganito na, okay, sige, ganito na lang, no? Para hindi na natin pag-awayan yung ganito, ganito na lang gawin natin. The next time it happens again, then ito na yung gagawin natin. Next step, next step, next step. So, yun lang din naman yun. It's ano naman talaga, it's something that you both can explore with, 'di ba? May mga bagay talaga na hindi niyo talaga siya expected, nangyayari siya na hindi niyo talaga siya naplano, nangyayari siya na hindi niyo talaga inasahan, but then may mga time talaga na mabibigla ka at maiba yung masasabi mo, but then you have to really be openly communicate, openly share your feelings, no? Kaya, it's good. Then, Jaime, please.
Find a good time to talk.
Why it is that so?
So say that
Why
again.
that's so? Why it is that we will have to find a good time to talk?
Ah, because sometimes when you talk and it's a bad time, you might not get the results that you want. So I emphasize the word good time because yeah, the results of your talk can really depend on the space that either party or both parties are in. Like you don't want to talk just for the sake of, oh, I want to get this over with and resolve the conflict. It probably won't. Like part of the first one, like it won't fully resolve, and it's something that you can bring up
Mm,
later, which you should have. So yeah, finding a good time to talk when both parties are ready to talk is really important.
yes, exactly. So, may mga couple pa rin kasi talaga na they have this, of course, the belief of do not sleep with both of you or both angry. Pero may mga couples din kasi na they have to settle it in their own muna. Example, if they realizes that they have both their mistakes and then they want to come up with to relax muna for a while, no? Then, pag okay na yung mga mood ninyo pareho din, di ba? Okay na pag-usapan. Pero if you are on that na pareho kayong heated, pareho kayong mainit pa yung ulo, and then you're trying to mas lalong, 'di ba, mas lalo kayo nakakapagsalita ng hindi maganda sa isa't isa. So, sometimes it would really work to be quiet for a while and then find a good time kung right timing na pala talaga siya na pag-uusapan or not yet, no. Pero of course, don't forget to talk about it talaga para mapag-usapan talaga, para ma-resolve siya. Kaysa na pabayaan na lang, lilipas na lang ng gano'n na hindi napag-usapan. So, yeah, that's good thing. You have to find a good time. Then, of course, Angela,
Listen without interrupting your partner.
yes, this is something about listening. Just listen to your partner whenever it is. So, for your take, Angela, how it is really important to listen.
How is it important?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually agree din ako. Parang sa akin din kasi since I'm not really articulate, I usually inaayos ko muna yung thoughts ko bago ko sabihin. So parang if you interrupt your partner na hindi pa niya nasasabi yung buong point niya, and then parang may comments ka na agad, baka hindi pa umabot dun sa actual point niya pala. Tapos nadagdagan pa ng issue or ng away. So it's
Mm,
good to listen muna para then you hear the complete story or the complete thoughts ng partner mo, and then you can make parang mas tama na yung understanding mo of it versus half lang and then nagkaroon pa
yes.
ng other issues.
And of course, we have to take ano din in consideration yung mga non-verbal cues, yung mga we're not just listening sa sinasabi nila but beneath, inside it, yung laman, the content of what he or she is trying to say. Because sometimes iba yung lumalabas sa bibig natin eh. What we really want to. That's what you have said, 'di ba, Angela? It's nagpa-process pa siya talaga sa mind niyo mo of what we really want to say. Kasi parang sometimes it's parang iba yung nailalabas mo because yun lang yung nailalabas ng words mo, but then iba yung gusto sabihin, no? Iba yung action mo, iba yung gesture mo, about it. So that's something that you need to watch out for when listening. It's not just listening about the words. Ito yung, di ba, yung sa listening skills natin kanina, and the nonverbal cues is very important. So the content of what she or he's trying to say. Then, Jaime,
Admit when you're wrong.
is it
Yeah.
easy? Is it easy?
Uh, it eventually it becomes easy, but um, but see the thing here is if you still think that you're right, it's hard to admit that you're wrong. So really acknowledging that you're wrong is like the first step, and then you're able to admit it. Parang
Mm.
there's at least for me, I really don't like if I'm wrong, I'll acknowledge it naman,
Mm.
especially if someone provides the evidence that I am, or if even if it's not like something that's grounded in evidence, like just
Mm.
um like I'm in the wrong, like even if it's subjective, I'll accept it and I'll admit it naman because I important din to move forward, diba? Because like if you hold
Mm.
on to this one thing, what are other things you're so attached to holding on that it stops the conflict from
Yeah, 100%.
resolving, right? So parang those are the things you really have to let go of. And again, like the more it happens, the easier it becomes. And
Mm.
once you get to that stage, it becomes better.
Yes, that's good, no? And it's of course saying sorry doesn't really mean that it's your mistake that you did wrong, you know. It's you're trying to really have really trying to resolve the conflicts the between of the two of you because your partner might be have this kind of high pride, no? And pag ikaw na yung nauna, you realize marirealize din ng isang partner, and then yun, well, just ano na lang, admittedly, ay admit na lang na, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm also this is also my mistake. I've done wrong din. It's not just you." Basta may isa talaga magpapakumbaba. So it works, no? It works for the couple. And yes, tama po yun, and that's your right timing. So now, Angela.
Consider your partner's perspective.
Of course, you did very well with Jaime. So, what else do you do to enable to have to consider that pag may mga ideas, may mga
Mm.
sinasabi siya, what do you do?
Actually, parang connected nga din siya dun sa admit when you are wrong at saka sa sagot ni Jaime. Parang, um, maybe if hindi nga nila i-admit agad, they have a certain perspective na
Yeah.
why they think that way. Kaya
Mm.
parang easier to come to terms with stuff if alam mo kung saan siya nanggagaling. And then if
Yes.
masabi ko rin kung saan ako nanggagaling. So, ayun nga, parang clearer, more big picture lang when we talk. Para magets din niya yung side ko, magets ko yung side niya.
So, nasabi niyo na halos yung pang next.
Oh,
Jaime. Jaime.
So practice empathy when criticized instead of getting defensive.
Yes, that's right. So, that's what you have, di ba? Nabanggit na din ni Angela and of course Jaime about this one. So you have to know what your partner's in, kung ano yung situation niya, no? He's about, where's about, kung ano yung feelings niya during that time. His own perspective. So baka may pinanggagalingan din siya, no? So if you think na parang, ba't ganun siya, no? Ba't ganun siya ngayon? Ba't parang siyang mainit ang ulo? Ba't parang and then yun pala, you just have to know kung what's really happening by
mm,
wearing his or her own shoes. So you know what's happening talaga.
mm.
Okay,
So,
so
pag
good.
mas kilala mo na.
Yes. Exactly with you. You have been in like 5 years relationship, almost 5 years relationship, and you know very well kung ano talagang i-ano niya, yung mga take niya sa mga situations. Alam mo kung kailan siya galit, alam mo kung kailan siya masaya, alam mo 'pag may ganitong pangyayari, ay alam mo na, I expect that. Parang, okay, I know. Gano'n na siya ngayon kasi alam ko. Okay, so that's good thing naman of knowing your partner very well. So that's a good conflict resolution skill that all of dapat yung mga lahat ng kakasal pa lang, no, yung may good conflict resolution so that to prevent more major issues and problems. Okay? Now, we will be dealing with the with the needs of the partners na. So this time I think I'll give you 5 minutes break. Can have your comfort room break or any basta 5 minutes can be screen break muna.
Ah,
Okay?
mag-CCR lang din ako.
Yes, thank you. See you. 5 minutes. Are you both ready?
Okay po.
Yep,
Okay.
back.
So now we will discuss the partner's daily needs. So we have the husband first. Angela, can you please read all of the following?
Marital intimacy or sex, authority or respect, never-ending support for his healthy recreation.
Can you tell me one of those? Pwede isa sa mga yan. You tell me your insight, your ideas, or what?
Siguro tong N. Never-ending support for his healthy
Okay.
recreation.
Oo, parang safe na safe talaga, no? Okay.
So siguro ito din yung mas napapansin ko since like he also has his hobbies
Mm,
and yung playing with friends.
yeah.
So ako, I respect naman that time na parang hindi ko naman pagkakait sa kanya yung time na yun.
Yeah, it is a daily or it is a daily need. So, pwedeng an hour? Or how many hours do you need for this, Jaime?
I guess it depends, but honestly, pretty
Mm.
flexible naman eh. So
Mm,
like, and again, like as long as there's understanding, should be fine. And again, like proper planning and scheduling, so that no
yes.
one is caught off guard, to be fine.
Yeah. So,
And
basta you have to emphasize this is healthy
mm,
recreation. So, hindi
True.
kasama to hindi kasama yung ano dito ha, alcoholic drinks or anything na hindi healthy.
Yeah, I don't drink, so
agree,
Good.
agree.
Yes, okay. So, first for marital intimacy or sex, this is one of those, no? Science explains it very well that the man produces sperm, no, especially their testes, produces sperm up to 1 to 2 days time. And the maturity period of the sperm is 1 to 2 weeks time. So for 1 to 2 weeks time, it needs to be released somewhere, of course. So the vast difference in the urethra, ayun lang naman yung daanan niya. So the urethra, di ba, you have there the urine also. It's when iisa lang yung daluyan nila. So whenever you have some build-ups or yung mga hindi na ilabas or stock, is what we call the old stock. So nagkakaroon ng build-up. So namumuo siya sa loob. So whenever they have this pag umihi, nagiging blurry or something na may nakasama doon sa ihi, yun yung mga hindi na ilabas, no? Or minsan na isasama din siya sa during this wet dreams. So really, really have to, it's their needs siya, hindi siya yung, no, na hindi, may mga time na hindi rin nila ito nakokontrol kasi kumbaga
Mm,
nagkakaroon na siya ng yung napupuno na, no? Siyempre, ilalabas talaga nila yan. So,
mm,
whenever nagkakaroon pa lalo to ng more of production whenever they have commitment na. Especially pag nagkakaroon na ng relasyon, nagkaroon ng, pag nagpakasal na, the more na mas nagiging busy yung pagpuproduce ng sperm because of the maturity, di ba? Yung reproductive system nila. So, because of our brain also stimulates and in conversation with sa mga hormones natin. So, ayan, sasabihin ng brain, oh, nagpakasal na to. The more na he needs more, diba? The more that he needs to release. So, kaya nagkakaroon talaga ng adjustment, no? Sa pag nagkaroon na talaga ng partner, nag-asawa na. So, nasa inyong dalawa, pag-uusap kung paano, how you going to do this. So, if you do the natural family planning, the fertility method, or the artificial methods, it would still depend on you. So, as long as you have the proper planning. So, it is more of the needs for the woman, for the man, of course. But for us women, medyo shocking to, Angela. It is our wants.
mm.
Mm. Why? Because of the pleasure, because of the advantages na meron nito sa atin. Like, example, when you talk about the orgasm, can have at least 20 to 25 orgasms during sexual activity. But for the partner, for the husband, they can have 1, 2, 3, 4, no? Pag ganun, sobra na silang pagod. But for us, it's continuously, and the gap in between, yung duration is every 30 seconds. Kaya hindi natin siya napapansin, we cannot notice it. But then, we can feel it. Na hindi lang natin siya nano-notice, hindi lang natin siya naka-count, na ganun talaga siya kahaba. But with 30 seconds, oh, tingnan mo, if you have 15 minutes, then ilang seconds yon, 'di ba? Ilang counts yon in 30 seconds, in 15 minutes. 'Di ba? Sobra-sobra pa. Napapaisip na si Angela.
Times 4 siya. 30.
And, pero yung according to studies naman, nasa 20 to 25. The maximum is 25 na nabasa ko. But mostly of the studies, nasa 20 lang siya, no? So, we have three, of course, we have three spots. Sila, iisa lang yan. That is with the reason na mas beneficial sa mga babae kaysa sa lalaki. So, of course, because of their needs, kaya mas nasasabi natin na, ay, mga lalaki lang yun. Sila yung mas kinangailangan. Yes, of course, that's their need. Pero sa atin, it's beneficial then because of that we experience during. And it also releases hormones like serotonin. It gives us more energy. Of course, sa una, of course, ilang minutes after that, medyo pagod ka pa, no? But then, manonotice ninyo, it's more of tumataas, mas maganda yung energy ninyo, no? Sa work, and mas marami kayong na-produce when you have it. Rather than you do it if you do it in the evening kasi, wala ka ng paggagamitan ng energy mo, tulog ka na nun. But then if it happens in the morning, it gives you a different kind of energy. It's because of the hormones that releases during the oxytocin and the serotonin. Yun yung mga special hormones na nare-release during sex. Okay? So of course, for the A, authority and respect naman, it is a very serious matter to the men. And for them, the more that you treated with them with respect, the more that they feel loved. The more din nila napapalitan yun ng love. Nakatumbas din ng love sa atin. Of course, we have the mutual respect that we have too. But then, iba talaga yung nagiging effect sa mga lalaki when we have that respect. And this is a very broad, no? Broad yung respect na sinasabi nato. It's not just about the decision making. It's just about respecting yung kanilang mga boundaries and everything. But then also your self-control, no? Sa mga things na parang you're about to, parang gusto mo na magalit, gusto mo na mainis, gusto mo na manigaw, and then you still have to control yourself na hindi mo masigawan yung husband mo whenever you have that. At instead, pupunta ka na lang sa room mo, manahimik, and then huminga ng malalim, breathing, inhale, breathe and inhale, and then drink some warm water or cold water to ease your emotions. That could be considered as respect. So, maraming bagay, maraming ways of giving that respect to them. So, also, dinagdagan pa natin yan. Para ito MAN kasi for you to memorize it very easy or napakadali lang siyang i-memorize. May exam tayo mamaya. Angela.
Pag-note na. MAN.
Ready? Next na? So I added more of the superhero and being spiritual. Spiritual is not about this it's not about religion or being religious. This is spiritual, no? Then superhero, because for them, they of course they protect us as the way that they wanted to, no? The more that they are more of protecting us, tinagawa nila yung pagiging superhero natin. So superhero sa atin. And then because you're already a team, of course, approval for your partner sa mga decision making. It's not about being alone, no? Being ikaw na nag-iisa. Kung nasanay ka ng binata ka pa or mga dalaga pa kayo na nagde-decision kayo mag-isa. But this time, everything na kailangan nating ipag-decide sa bahay, household, or everything man yan, kailangan talaga natin silang sasabihin natin sa kanila yung approval. Kasi kahit yung sa work, no? If meron kayong ano sa work like may outing, hindi yung FYI lang. Of course, you have to ask your
Mm.
husband, we're having outing pero malayo siya, nasa Tagaytay. Do you want me to go there or ano? May ganun ba? Hindi yung, oh honey, meron akong outing ha. Parang ganun lang. Of course, maganda pa rin yung alam ni husband mo na may right pa rin siya na magsabi na,
Mm.
sabay kasi yan sa birthday ng mommy ko eh. O baka nag-conflict sa schedule. May mga ganun bang adjustment na kailangan mo din, you have to consider. Kasi pag patuloy yan, araw-araw, everyday, almost everyday, hindi mo na tinatanong yung husband mo about everything. Basta magde-decide ka na lang. Example, one of those mga celebrities na they are very independent, pinapaano pa nila sa mundo na, ay, kayang-kaya ko yung sarili ko. I am women empowerment,
Mm.
advocacy. Then, sila pa yung mas madaling iwan talaga. Mas sila pa yung mabilis maiwan. Hindi naman nila ma-blame sarili nila kasi siguro pinalaki silang independent, no? They are already made. So, pag ganun kasi, mataas yung expectation sa magiging partner nila. So, whenever it happens, talaga kailangan ibababa mo muna sarili mo. Ile-level mo muna. Kung it's, example, you are already a made woman, like Moira, no? Nag-asawa ka ng Jason. Tapos ikaw pala yung you're earning more. You have more projects than your husband. And then si husband, nagiging driver na lang. Tapos he never asked kung okay ba sa kanya maging driver. At okay lang ba sa kanya utusan. Oh, that's something na hindi nila nagawa, ano? Yung ganong approval na, Jason, okay ba na sa taping ko, ikaw maging driver ko, sa taping ko, ikaw yung bibili ng mga kailangan ko. Walang ganong approval eh. Nagiging automatic na lang.
Mm.
Hanggang sa siyempre, mafe-feel ng partner na, ano na ba ako sa'yo? Alila na lang ba ako sa'yo? Na wala na akong right? Wala na akong right magsabi ng gusto kong sabihin na something like that. And then, pag sobrang busy na kasi talaga sa trabaho, example, isa sa kanila, sobrang busy na daw yun sa trabaho ng time na yun, wala na daw time si Moira to give that to Jason. Alam niyo kung ano yun? That intimacy, yung sex.
Oo.
Hmm. If you heard about the story, di ba?
Mm.
Makaka-relate ka din na, may ganun pala talaga sa relationship.
Mm.
Pag ito yung nawala, talaga magkakaproblema. Then, reflection, of course, this is our reflection, that decompress, no, uninterrupted moment na kailangan nila muna mag-isip-isip, magpahinga, na sa mga kailangan nilang isipin. So, hindi rin okay sa mga husbands na may babae or may partner sila or wife sila na masyadong yung mausisa, masyadong maghahanap, yung bang konting ano lang, o saan ka na? Saan na you? Anong oras na? Ba't hindi ka pa nakauwi? So they will not really feel good about it na parang every minute, every hour, bantayado. So, of course, sa una, okay lang, no? First 5 years. Pero pag tumatagal, it's not very good. Hindi na okay sa kanila. We have a lot of marital crisis counseling wherein ito yung nagiging issue. No? Yung hindi na nabibigyan ng time for them to reflect yung husband. Kasi most of their time talaga, lagi silang hinahanap ng kanilang wife. Pero syempre, may mga trust issues before na hindi na resolve. Ito yung nagiging reason naman ng mga partner nila, na wife nila, bakit nila hinihigpitan si husband.
Mm.
Okay. So, maraming kailangan pag-usapan dyan when it comes to that, pag mayroon ng mga other issues. So, now, appreciation for them, kahit yung mga little things that they do, everything, they want to be appreciated. Of course, hindi nila masyado nasasabi yan. Hindi nila talaga, they are not really vocal about it. But whenever they heard it from their partner na, wow, na-appreciate ako, yung nafe-feel niya, wow, I am very appreciated. Tumataas yung kanilang self-esteem, tumataas yung paningin nila sa sarili nila. And they have this, may mga tendency kasi sa mga lalaki din, of course, so Jaime, darating talaga yung time wherein you will have this midlife crisis. This according to Carl Jung, nakaka-experience mostly yung mga nagkaka-ano nito mga lalaki, according to science. Kasi tayong mga babae, nasa ano tayo, quarter life crisis. Sa mga lalaki, umaabot sila sa time ng 40 to 45 years old wherein they have been questioning themselves. Ano na ba yung nangyari? Ano na ba yung mga nagawa ko? So, pag wala masyadong appreciation or motivation coming from the partner, mas lalang bumabagsak yung kanilang self-esteem. The more that they question themselves, the more na parang hindi nila nafe-feel yung kanilang worth. Yon. So, tayo naman mga babae, of course, meron din tayong menopausal stage wherein we experience yung mga hot flashes, irritability, kasi bumabagsak yung ating bone density. But of course, there would be alternative to that. No? May mga alternative medicines like having yung natural estrogen, you have to take mga ganong gamot, and then calcium, more calcium para sa bone density, naiiwasan din yung mga side effects. So, productive, the more that they are motivated, the more na na-appreciate natin sila, automatic yun, nagiging mas productive sila. No? Nafe-feel nila yung worth nila as a husband. No? Pag i-compare mo, no, kung alam niyo yung story about Pokwang, no, and the
Ay.
partner, foreigner, nawala na ng productivity yung lalaki. Kasi, most of their, ano talaga, si Pokwang lang talaga yung gumagawa ng way para ano talaga, yung way of living nila.
Mm.
Parang naging breadwinner na si Pokwang during that time. Nawawala na hanggang sa hindi na nagiging okay yung mga words niya, no. Nawawala na ng motivation at nawawala na rin ng ano yung asawa niya sa kanya. No? Naging less productive na because of those. Kaya nagkaroon din sila ng problema na nagkaroon din ng miscommunication and a gap with the communication kasi with Pokwang, hindi niya natatranslate in English yung proper talaga kung anong gusto niyang sabihin. Naiiba. Na hanggang sa, ay, oh, okay na, baliwala na, okay na lang yun, okay na kami. Hanggang sa nag-pile up yung emotions niya. No? So, si husband naman, na feeling niya naman, lagi lang siyang ginagawang helper, ano sa kusina, habang nagluluto si Pokwang, bumaba naman yung self-esteem niya. Yun yung nangyari sa kanila, anong pandemic. Okay, so, nagiging big, ano na rin siya talaga sa mga mag-asawa. Akala nyo, parang napakasimple lang, no? Oh, okay. Pero, it could cause more, major talaga na issues or problem. Now, let's move on with, of course, the wife. Now, Jaime, please read the following.
Read all. Wife, willful or intentional affection, openness or transparency, messages of affirmation, assurance of protection, and never-ending care.
What are your insights about? Choose one.
Um, I guess assurance of protection is the one that comes to mind first, just because um I feel that the people close to me, I should be able to protect, and parang in relation to that, parang giving them the assurance
Mm-hmm.
then helps them feel safer and confident being around me then. Parang like it's an assurance. So it helps their confidence in both themselves that they can operate without fear of
Mm-hmm.
harm, and also confidence in me na um that parang that I'm able to protect them.
Good. Yes.
And like this is both in like physically and in other sense of the word protection. I mean
Mm-hmm.
protection can mean different things and manifest in different forms. So I mean it's not just physical protection, because that's also very hard. I mean,
Yes.
just physically. I mean,
You will have
it's
24/7 to
Malakas
do
ka
that.
naman.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, yes.
So physically, emotionally, psychologically, yun, spiritually protected. So when we say also openness or transparency, because of the study of science that we are more of the detail oriented, so you would rather want to know more, no? Know more about it, no? If Jaime have yung meetings outside, then hindi pwedeng sabihin mo lang, I have meeting. Siyempre magtatanong si Angela, "Oh, meeting? Saan? Bakit meeting ka? Anong oras yan? Para saan? Sino kasama mo?" Oh, kulang na lang sasabihin mo yung buong meetings ninyo, yung minutes of meeting. That's how we are, no? Kasi kung kulang, no, it's still ano, "Oh, no, may kulang pa, hindi mo nasabi. Ano bang ginawa niyo dun?" Oh. So also, of course, willful and intentional affection. This is for our everyday, no? Everyday. Yung nabanggit nyo kanina, you are not into it in the public, but then of course, during your private, no, yung kayo lang, then you can have your, of course, your affection, these hugs or simple kisses, and then the never-ending care, 24/7 love and attention is a must, Jaime. Alam mo ba kahit pagtulog niyan, 'pag nanaginip lang yan na ng babae ka, naku lagot ka paggising niyan. 'Di ba? Sabihin mo
In
sabihin mo, "Nanaginip ako kagabi." "Ha? Meron kang kasamang babae, sino yun?" And then of course sabi mo, "What? Wala akong alam dun, sino yun?" 'Di ba? So may mga gano'n tayong kutob. And 'di ba meron nga tayong ano, advanced thinking. We're good at it, Angela, 'di ba? We're good at advanced thinking. So, you're
Nag-isip.
assuming things. So, next, can you add more of this, Jaime? Yeah, this is what that you have said that you have said, no? The support, yeah,
empathy, quality
yeah.
time, sleep. You hear that, Angela? Sleep.
Yeah,
I
sleep. We
want
need more
sleep.
time. Why? Because of course our monthly period we decreases our iron. That is responsible for the oxygen, no, through hemoglobin. So, bumabagsak yun. Basta pag may period nga tayo, we need more iron and then we need more sleep. Then, for the quality time, it is for us, we need more of the quality time rather than the material things. 'Di ba pag nagsabi ka, Jaime, I'm going there, pupunta ako sa'yo, anong gusto mong pasalubong? Sasagot sa'yo ni Angela, "No, just you. You're already enough. I need you more. Please come home." And may mga kababaihan talaga, wives, na hindi nila talaga alam kung paano i-manage yung ganito, na, ah, they want quality time, they want the time na galing sa husband nila, but then because of the husband being so responsible and being yung career-oriented talaga, no, very ano talaga sa trabaho, hardworking, nahihirapan sila pauwiin ng maaga. But ano yung tip ko sa kanila? Lagi kong sinasabi, you know kung ano yung mga wants ng partner ninyo, ng husband ninyo. If your husband likes sinigang, adobo, ano pa ba yung mga, ano ba paborutin ni Jaime? Aside from food, Angela, ano pa yung mga likes niya?
Um, ano nga ba? Time for his hobbies. Joke. Playing, yung ano nga, like madalas din kasi siya naglalaro. So,
Mhm.
yung mga Nintendo Switch type. So, aside from food and watching.
So, sa bahay meron kayong ano yun, Nintendo?
Yung
Yeah, I
Switch.
have one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. So, one of the motivation, no? Especially if stress at work. Okay.
Mm.
So, yun, yung mga kailangan mo din i-prepare. Example, like if, at you need to consider that also, no? How much time do you need for that, no?
Mm.
Pag, syempre, okay, pag wala pa kayong anak, no? Pag may anak na, mababawasan na talaga yung time for that. Because you'll be spending more time with the kids, with the children. So, Okay, so no more questions about this one. Okay? Okay. Now, this is the 5 love languages of Gary Chapman. And most of this are of course designed for us, women. The 5. No? But for men, according to surveys and according to my participants, yung mga lalaki, mga gusto nila dito, yung mga love language, yung acts of service and quality time. The
Mm.
physical touch, of course, there. That's our love language na gusto natin matanggap sa ating husband. The words of affirmation, of course, the quality time, the gift. But for them kasi, enough na yung time, enough na yung acts of service. Hindi sila more of materialistic, Angela,
Mm.
Jaime, agree with
Oh,
that? You're not too much of, gift na from Angela to you.
ako hindi ako
Yes.
masyadong mga gift
Mm.
giving.
Ayun. But it changes, no? Hindi naman siya fixed na, like for now,
Mm.
hindi mo siya gusto. Pero after ilang years, gusto mo na. Ay, gusto ko naman lang gano'n, no? Parang,
Parang depende din siguro
oo.
kasi kung if special event, like,
Mm,
so parang anniversary or birthday, at least parang effort. Pero
yes.
on a daily basis, di ko naman in-expect na magbigay siya ng gift
Mm.
or ganun.
Alam niyo po ba nakalagay ito sa batas? Na,
Oh,
yeah, pagbibigay ng gift.
ano po nakalagay? Ano po yung exactly na nakasulat?
It's giving gift. Giving
Oh,
and receiving gifts.
Hmm.
Mm,
interesting.
Interesting.
yeah. So, nakakatawa pero of course, it will still depend on the both of you eh. If
Mm.
you really want to have, yung gusto nyo lagi na may gift giving kayo. No? It's
Mm.
seasonal naman, like example, birthdays,
Mm.
Christmas, pero not on a daily basis. Being so practical. Mm. So, acts of service is very important. Of course, physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, and that's the least yung gift giving.
Mm.
So, now, let's move on the husbands as cultivators to their wives. Why do we do that? Why do we say that? No? Because the benefits of your wife being pretty and happy all the time bounce back to you. Iwasan nyo, maano nyo, pero hindi nyo talaga may iwasan yung mga sasabihin ng ibang tao, no? Pag naiiba na yung, ay, nagiging ano ka na, ba't para ka ng losyang, no? Sino nag-asawa ka? Pero pag kitang-kita pa din nila na well-maintained, 'di ba? Makikita mo talaga masasabi nila mga kamag-anak, kaya relatives who say na, "Wow, well-maintained. Love na love ka siguro ng husband mo." 'Di ba? Usually, that would. Yan yung magiging reaction nila. And then the principle of saw and reap also applies. Kasi even if naman tayo, no, kaya naman natin talaga, we can really have, no, our own, pwede naman natin gawin yan. Pero ang ganda ng feeling, di ba? Pag galing yung treat na yun, galing kay Jaime. Di ba, Angela? Yeah. So, that's how important it is. And for us naman, syempre, kailangan din natin siyang palitan ng ating acts of service. Like what? Massage. Do you do this?
Mas minamassage niya ako kaysa sa minamassage ko siya.
For Jaime,
Pero noted.
anong ano mo? Mas need mo pa siya na imamassage ka kahit sa head lang or what?
Mm, not super, except
Sabi na back massage ko siya.
Sometimes.
I have back problems, but
Mm.
Mm,
so yeah, she massages the specific areas of back that needs treatment. Pero I'm okay din not to really get massaged that only if I need it. So
mm.
it helps, but I don't super need it often naman. So
Mm.
Okay. So, well, thank you. Noted. Here, how about cleaning his ears, cut his nails?
Never ko pa atang ginawa eh.
I do it
Pero
myself.
Jaime would
So
like it ba?
parang not really. I still
Okay.
rather do it myself.
Good.
Mm.
Especially
Noted.
cleaning of ears. Parang how would they know eh?
You
Like
don't trust me. Joking.
no, but
Joke lang.
still,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, because ano, they
Mm.
wanted to do it on their own, 'di ba? Pero may mga ano din talaga na gusto lang talaga nila, no, iba, no, it's pampering.
Pampered. Yeah.
I can imagine, I guess.
Still depend, of course. Kaya you have to know, no, kung ano talagang gusto niya. Like this one, facial treatment. Do you do this?
I don't even do
You
it
don't even like
myself.
it.
Siya
Okay.
mismo
Yeah,
hindi siya ma-skincare.
Yes, so next, spa treatment. Hmm?
No, we get spot together.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Parang it's more of quality time together if it,
Mm.
not
Mm.
necessarily the treatment.
How about personal things?
Well, we don't
Preparing.
live together, and
When you
uh,
live together, you want your personal things to be prepared.
I guess depends on some things, but if I can do it, I'll do it. But if it's something parang she's better at, like, I don't know, wrapping gifts or
Mm-hmm.
uh, what else?
Mm.
Yeah,
Choosing
that's
your
all I can think.
pairs or putting your necktie.
Ah, I mean, if you're better at it, sure. I'm not good at it, so pwede naman. It depends talaga.
As
Yes.
long as it doesn't hinder your productivity.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. So honoring his decisions, of course, is very
Mm.
important. Pray for his work and support his calling. So this one, ito naman ay was stated by the participants, no, during the seminars,
Mm.
face-to-face seminars, no, sa Mag-asaway di Biro by Vic and Evelyn Garcia. So ito yung mga nilagay ng mga husbands doon na need nila, na gusto nila na ginagawa ng husband, ng wife nila for them. So, but then, of course, you have more your individuality, you have differences. So, depende pa rin sa partner kung ano talaga yung gusto niya, no? Pwedeng wala dito sa mga choices, di ba? But this is just an idea, okay? So now, moving forward, so in one word, what is your wife's greatest need? Jaime. In general, no? We talk about general.
it's a good question. I guess reassurance. And not just about, like, about since in general, parang reassurance about everything. Parang that she's doing a good job, that the decisions
Mm-hmm.
she makes are correct, that I'll always be able to support her. And not just me, not like parang the reassurance that in both herself and me. Parang she's
Mm-hmm.
reassured that I support her, and by doing so, she's more confident in herself. Because in the end, um, I mean, I can only affect how she feels, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't control it. Parang that's in the end that'll boil down to her. And if I give her the reassurance, I also help with the confidence then in that sense.
Okay, so thank you for that. And then it seems like Angela is agreed to it also. Um, so what I'll be going to show you here is what is stated in the Bible, that the greatest need of wives or wife is love. It composes everything. So of course it includes assurance, protection, affirmation, quality time, and everything. So husband, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. And here for the husband naman. So what do you think, Angela, is general, no?
I think
It
love
is
din
a
support.
serious matter to them. It can be comparable to love.
Parang love encompasses a lot of things eh. Pero, ano nga ba? Mas magaling talaga mag-articulate sa akin si Ado.
Yeah,
Go
Pero
refer to
that's
the Bible na
support.
lang.
Pero
this is
kasi
good
if you say
skill.
support nga din, it's also considered as loving someone if you give
Mhm.
them your all in supporting and being there for
Yes.
them.
And that support, no, na-compose na yan sa loob nito, no? Because as what I have told you a while ago, this is a broad, no,
Mm.
meaning nito. So, it has the support, is the love that they need. So, it is respect, no? So, for the kingdom, It is the God's design of the family, to respect and love. So for the husband, that you have to love your wives and do not be harsh with them or do not be harsh to them. That's under the Ephesians 5 verse 25 to 33. And for the wives naman, as a queen, wives, respect your husband and submit yourselves to them. So yung submission dito, it doesn't really mean to be a helper, to be yung helper kasi in Hebrew is ezer, no? This is not like what is the modern ano ng helper dito is katulong, no? Pero when we say about the helper as being an ezer, it is a compatible, intelligent, smart companion of a partner who gives more support, who gives motivates, will be there to support whenever it is. So pag wala na nga talaga makapitan, no, pag like example, no, mangungutang, kanino pa ba siya mangungutang kundi sa kanyang wife. So whenever yung mga needs, yung mga kailangan nila sa bahay, 'di ba? Sino yung magiging katuwang niya? So this is the wife. So if there would be a rules inside the house, then the wife would be the one to execute. So ganun yung rules ninyo pareho. Of course, you are both equal, but you have different roles. Your role as a husband and your role as a wife. So that's the difference, no? Even though if we're both smart and intelligent. Wala naman nagsasabi na, ay, pag babae, ganito, pag lalaki, ganito. Because we are both created to be equal. Then, things that we cannot control, which may affect our family, are those of the following here, no? But the things that we can control to strengthen our foundation are the following. We can choose our emotions, our feelings. We can control ourselves, our attitude towards, no? Whenever there will be situation, we can choose how to react in every situation. Our perspective in life, our choices in life, because they shall be our destiny. Agree? Things that have yet to happen are still in your hands, in our hands. So, according to Harvard University study on human happiness, it is already 85 years, no? 85 years. So, the happiest and healthiest people on earth are those who invest in relationships. That's according to Dr. Robert J. Waldinger and the director of Harvard Study of Adult Development. So, it is not about the reality, it's not about the properties, stock exchange, but it is more of the relationship that can give us more, no, a longer life. So focus on your journey towards the happy family life that you both want. How? Of course, by staying on course, by staying online, straight ahead, because your future is totally in your hands. Agree?
Agree.
Okay, so happy wife, happy life. And of course, happy life, happy marriage, happy family is a decision. And this is your priority. So that ends my discussions, that ends my presentation. You have anything? Questions?
No questions naman. Pero I find it really insightful din and interesting yung
Yeah,
dami ko
so
natutunan na science facts about
yes, of course. If you
about
have
the
any question
relationship.
about that, I can give you more details on that. Pero I know hindi pa ninyo time, no? It's not yet time for you to want to have children or kids, no? Or else I'll be extending more of my lecture to that. How to achieve that.
Ah, but in the requirements sa PMO, isn't that kasama? I mean, I know it doesn't apply to us, pero
Mm. It's just
if we
we're just given only a little of details about it. So, it's more of the orientation about the marriage, the licensing, the documents that you needed to prepare, of course, the marriage license, the
Mhm.
all the information that you need to fill it up, no? Kailangan it's all correct, no? All the details are correct, and you have 120 days validity and marriage license.
Mm.
Yeah. So for ano naman, we'll be giving you some details pa before we end this because we still have yung time. Yeah. So any questions before we conclude?
No, none from me.
Particularly to some topics, just let me know so I can go on that slides and then give you some details about it. What particularly is that?
I guess infant nutrition, if you have information on it. Kasi I think it was kasama sa section 15 of the RA. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even if we're not um planning anytime soon, parang that's something to know
That
about
you have to
kasi
look forward for. Okay.
yeah, and because it affects then yun nga, if the economy or certain things change, parang
Mm-hmm.
infant nutrition will be affected. Like so I'm curious din sa what the general guidelines are regarding infant nutrition.
Okay, so with this one I'll move forward to that. No, that's it's that the family planning.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
it is part of it, right?
Yeah, so that's just included in the family planning session. So I'll be
Ah,
yeah, so I'll be giving you some inputs about it so you will have some idea on how do we really do about it. So since the government has been requiring the counselors to give at least the details about the contraceptive methods, and mostly that we are me of course as my own personal, I want you to focus on the family planning, no? Because this might, of course, this one example for this one, the methods, there will be a lot of yung chemicals used in the contraceptives, no? Contraceptives like having it synthetic chemicals into it.
Mm.
So we have this one is also one of the choices in the permanent contraceptive method. This is the IUD. So in IUD naman, the effects is 5 years, 7 or 12, depending on the brand. But the side effects would be you'll be dealing with the different effects like headache, acne, the breast tenderness, the mood changes, the cramping, and the irregular bleeding.
Mm.
So with this one naman, if you choose naman copper rather the hormonal, so it is lesser yung side effects than the one with the hormonal. The hormonal yung that's the progesterone or the progestin. If it's a laboratory synthetic made, it's progestin. But the natural body hormone talaga is progesterone. So that's the IUD. And then, of course, this one, the hormonal contraceptives. If you have asked about this one, this is the pill that can be taken every day, the same time. And once that you have taken this, pag if you missed one, you have to take it immediately as soon as possible. Because if not, you will have the tendency to get pregnant easily. Because it's hormonals eh. So this will not really affect on this is not harmful to pregnancy, no. So it can also help produce or having that reproductive when it is stopped immediately after. So because the combination of this one is the estrogen and the progesterone, which also leads you to um yung proper growth of the baby inside you, and then it's more of the reproductive health. So whenever you have this, you have to take it really every day, the same time each day. And of course, to prevent you from having side effects, you have to take it in the evening before bedtime. No, because if you do it in the morning, you will experience this one. Ito yung mga side effects: nausea, vomiting, migraine, weight gain naman if whenever you use to take it in the morning. So nandun ka na parang you have the cravings for food kasi wala pang laman yung tiyan mo. So the tendency to eat and eat it more. No? The
Mm.
breakthrough bleeding naman, it happens when you stop using it for like 1 to 2 days time, then you miss pills, then nagkakaroon ka ng breakthrough bleeding because your system doesn't really used to it and your system is still adjusting to. Parang nagkaroon ka ng ano ngayon, hormones ngayon, you put in more estrogen and progesterone and then the next day wala, zero. The next day ulit zero and then the next day meron ulit. Siyempre yung system mo would be parang maguguluhan. I mean, what's happening inside this body? So of course the brain, the CNS would instruct no yung kanyang pituitary glands. Oh, maglabas ka ng blood kasi wala na sa estrogen. No, malapit na diyan sa progesterone, no? Or let's get ready na. Gano'n, parang naguguluhan na rin yung system mo whenever you stop taking. So, then it happens to have yung mood changes. It's because of the hormonal imbalance. You're taking it now, and then tomorrow you don't, and then another day you take. So that's when it happens na nagkakaroon na tayo ng more of mood changes. The estrogen itself, yun yung maraming mood changes. So, kaya some of the couple chooses progesterone only or the progestin only pill. That's what also we call the mini pill. Progestin lang siya. Pag yung what happens kasi with the progestin only, hindi ka nadadatnan every month. So, mahirap din alamin kung ikaw ay mayroong buntis ka na pala or hindi. That's why they still have to take estrogen and progesterone at the same time. Kasi pag ganito, combined, you still have your monthly period.
Mm.
Pag progestin only, wala masyado, no? Kaya hindi mo alam, buntis ka na pala. That's why. So, of course, the methods of barrier method, you use condom, right? So, may condom pa lalaki, may condom pa babae. But here in the Philippines, we don't use female condom. Na-expire lang ito sa mga health centers, hindi nila ginagamit because of discomfort of using it. So, for the condom naman, there's a correct proper usage of this. So, if you've seen the tip, di ba may tip siya? Then the tip of it should be pressed and then insert into an erected penis. So, who will be going to insert it? Is the boy or is the girl? Male or a female? Who do you think?
Sino nga ba yung
It
right?
should be fully erected. So, the answer is it should be the female or the wife. Why? Because our hand helps it erected, no? May ugat kasi yan, no? Pag na-touch yan, yung dalawang ugat na yan, pag na-touch natin yan, it should be fully erected like that. So, parang magic na lang yan, no? Tumataas agad yung ano niya, yung blood circulation pupunta na agad yan. Napupuno na agad siya. So, kaya ano na siya. So, we have to press that and then insert it slowly. Kasi kung na-miss mo yung part na yon to press it, there'll be a tendency of breaking out inside. No? Nagbe-break out siya sa loob. Sumasabog siya. Kasi walang space for the semen. Ay, iba pinapalobo pa nila, hindi naman nila alam na it doesn't really work that way. You have to press it so that there would be a space. No? Space for that. So you have to check also for the expiration date and the lubricant. It is also good to have lubricant kasi yung mostly yung mga lubricant yan ay mayroon na siyang spermicide. But for those who have less quality, dry, less lubricant, less spermicide, the tendency of still getting pregnant. Kaya it's not really 100%. It's 98% if it is used properly. But if it's not, hindi mo siya na-check, and then may leakage, meron pa siyang design. Pag tinignan mo yung design, may mga butas-butas pala yan. Especially you have to check it when it's made from China. Hmm. Kasi not really made for its purpose. It's made on with passion and parang as a toy, no, na ginagawa nila. So if you're going to check it, may butas-butas yan. So, yeah. So that's how it is. Should be fully erected. Ganito siya. This is how it looks like. The one naman for the female condom, ganito siya. So it's it's not comfortable for us to insert. And of
Ay, parang di
course,
ko nagpalit yung screen. May sinishare screen.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
How
just
about
it's
this
the
one?
dolphin. It's still
Akala
the
ko
dolphin thing.
Oh, sorry.
actually never po po ako nakita ng female condom.
It's okay. I'm gonna share it to you. That
Ayun.
one.
Ah,
This one.
mm.
Yan. So, yeah, you have to use the applicator. Yan siya. So, you have to insert that way. So, it would not be comfortable to both of you. No?
Mm.
Yan siya. So,
Okay.
this is for the male. So, I missed the IUD, ah. Okay. And this one na for the pills. And then also for the IUD kanina. Yeah, that one. So, it's a T-shape.
Mm.
It's a T-shape with a tie. So, that's the indication that it is still in place. Kaya that is visible. Yung tali
Okay.
is still visible. Because if it's not there, it means that it displaced inside. So, it needs a proper, yung professional talaga to reinsert it whenever na hindi na siya nakikita dyan. So,
Mm.
there could be a possibility na namumove siya. And within 6 months time, yung body would still have to adjust na to it. So, lalaban yung system mo. Kalabanin yan. Kaya you will feel hurt, you will feel pain, some pain within 6 months time habang hindi pa siya na nagiging part of your body. But within after 6 months, nangyayari, nagkakalaman na siya. So, nare-recognize na siya ng system mo as part of you after 6 months. Kasi, may laman na siya.
Oh.
Kaya, kailangan professional din yung magre-remove nito. Hindi lang katulad, ipupull out mo lang siya. You will have a serious bleeding if you do so.
Scary.
Oh.
Yeah, diba? So, you need
Okay.
professional help for that. Professional talaga to have it removed. So, we are already in that's the insertion. And then of course, the proper discard, how to properly discard it. Mas maganda talaga pag nilagay siya sa plastic or paper, wrap. Kasi if not, if it just in the trash can, pwede siyang kunin ng aso, ng pusa. So, it's better to have it, to keep it inside a pouch or a plastic. So, now, moving on, this one, nabanggit ko kanina yung ECP. But then I told you, this is not really, it's discouraged. No? Hindi na siya over the counter. It was in 2015 that it is now prevented and restricted because of the side effects. No? More kasi siya. Parang katumbas niya na kasi yung 3 pack ng pills.
Oh.
No? So you will be
Okay, that's
experiencing nausea, vomiting,
Scary.
altered bleeding. So may mga tendency din siya na nakakasira ng uterus. So I have classmates during the nursing, ko pa na overuse nito ng ECP. Then until now, wala pa ring anak.
Oh.
Nakakasira ng uterus. So then, the Depo-Provera also, it's same with the pills, pero 3 months, 3 months ito pwede i-inject sa inyo. So you have to ask for your OB-GYN if ito yung mas feel ninyong gamitin. Kasi, pero ito 3 months, 3 months. You have to renew every 3 months. After 3 months, then yung maximum lang na pwedeng i-delay nito from the next dose is 2 weeks only. Pag lumampas ka na ng 2 weeks, like 10 days, hindi ka pa nag-decide na magpaturok nito and then lumampas na, kailangan mo na magpa-pregnancy tests. before ka ulit magpaturok nito.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Kasi bawal po magpaturok niyan 'pag pregnant ka na.
Hindi naman siya talaga nakakapag-ano ng cause ng any harmful sa baby, pero it could somehow 'no, nakaka-effect siya sa development 'no, ng baby.
Hmm,
Kasi parang nag-a-adjust, yung system mo. Parang nandudun pa lang siya sa cycle wherein nag-ano ka pa lang ng baby, samantalang may baby na. So, na ano yung early development of baby na nade-delay.
mm.
So, now, for the LAM naman, that's required daw na sa nagpapadede na, no? Breastfeeding. So, just have to remember it. Pwede mo lang itong gamitin within 6 months time. And if you are breastfeeding for 4 hours in a day, 6 hours in the evening. Pero if you're on a mixed feeding, hindi mo to siya pwedeng gamitin. Pwede ka pa rin mabuntis anytime. So,
Mm.
ano lang po ba yung pwede nating gamitin while on breastfeeding? Anong hormonal pills lang yung pwedeng gamitin? Only progestin only at saka IUD. The rest hindi pwede. Kasi nakaka-suppress siya ng breast milk.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mm. Now, yan, nabanggit ko na yon. So, now, for the natural family planning, this is yung gusto kong i-highlight sa inyo before we end our session. Because this is very important. No? So, it is not a chemical base. It is just natural that you have to to check on with your body. So, first would be the calendar method. As I have told you a while ago, it's
Mm.
7 days and 7 days. No? So, it's according to the regular method talaga. So, if your period starts on the 4th, then first day would be yung lesser pa lang yung kanyang yung blood is light brown. So that starts your menstruation. So you have to start counting from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's considered as safe days. After that seventh day, it is already unsafe days for you. So you have the possibility of getting pregnant sa time na yan. Why? Because you have nga yung cycle natin in between or half or equal yung kalahati, half of our cycle is considered as our ovulation period. So if
Mhm.
you have 28-day cycle, your ovulation period is on your 14th day. So 14th day, 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it can be on the 17th, it can be before the 17th, and sperm can stay up to 5 days inside the cervix. So that is
Mm.
why we're giving you only 7 days safe days rather than having it 10, 11, 12. No, wala pa sa 14th. Why? Because it stays nga. Yung especially with the girl, no? Sperm that has female. So, so after that, you'll consider maybe the 14th or 15th or 16th will be your ovulation period, wherever it is. So it's better to have that calendar, that window, the fertile window. So this is considered, yung 2 weeks na yan, that's our fertile window. So whenever you have sexual contact during that period, during that time, you will have the tendency of having pregnant. Then 7 days before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then consider that also as safe days. This one, window lang din yan to prepare us for our next menstrual period. So,
Mhm.
and it's still considered as safe days. No? And some of us would have heavy bleeding for 3 days. Some of us would have 5 days. So,
Mm.
medyo mahirap siya during the day, 'di ba? Pero pag medyo slight na lang siya, light brown na lang siya, patapos na like 3 days or fourth day, pwede na siya, no? Mag-give-way naman yung blood yan. Medyo mag-give-way lang ng konti yan. Pero you have to expect after your intercourse ng may slight ka pa, magbabagsak na madami yan. So, mabibigla, dadami. It's not about bleeding na akala mo, ay ano ba, may sakit na ba ako? May vaginismus ba ako? Ba't ganito? It's normal, no? It's a normal effect. Kasi, syempre, nag-give way siya eh. Wait muna, wag ka muna lumabas. Kasi, yung mucus plug, yung mucus mo muna yung lalabas during that. And then, after that, syempre, dahil nag-ano muna siya, nag-give way, lalabas siya talaga ng sobra. Parang tubig na, alon ng tubig na pinigilan mo munang lumabas. And then after that, babagsak siya ng madami. So, yun lang yung disadvantage niya of having sex during your menstruation. So, any question with the calendar method?
So far gets naman po.
Okay. So, now, let's move on with, wait, ito yung phases. So, I want you to have this calculation. As I have told you a while ago, may time kasi na nag-fluctuate yan, yung cycle natin eh. Sometimes it 28 days, sometimes it 27, 26, 30, 32. So, from now on, you really need to remember, you really need to have it track 6 months, every 6 months. And then after 6 months, you try to get yung pinaka-cycle mo. Ilang araw yung cycle mo bago ka ulit magkaroon. The cycle is start from the first day of your menstruation up to the day before your menstruation. That's your cycle. The next, no, a day before your next menstruation. That's considered as your cycle. So, you have to subtract 18. You have to take note of this. Maybe you can screenshot.
Nino-note ko na din.
Ayan, okay. So, minus 18 from your shortest cycle. Siyempre, para mas magandang yung ating session today, mas maganda we can get at least kahit ano lang, give me your short cycle. Parang yung ano lang, can sa tingin mo, ano yung shortest cycle mo?
Sige po, tatry ko i-check. Kasi at least may tracker naman din po ako the past few months.
Just guess.
Just guess?
I may need to know that eh. Kasi, of course, mas maganda may actual eh. You have the actual calculation.
Oo nga. Pero usually, medyo consistent ako na monthly eh. So, siguro mga
May delay
20.
ka ba ng 1 day, 2 days?
Minsan. Minsan po meron.
Delay or advance?
Parang delay.
Okay, so consistent ka ng 28 days. So 28 yung shortest mo and then 30 yung longest mo. So 28 minus 18, 10. Then 30 minus 11, 19.
Oh.
Okay, so balik tayo sa may calendar ako. So you would really, So you would really see it na ano siya. Okay, so according to your cycle, 10 tsaka 19. No, that's according to sa ngayon lang. But of course, I hope you will not stick with this one kasi pwedeng magbago to. Would better to have 7 days kaysa gamitin natin yung 10th day mo. Kasi according to your cycle, pag yun yung talagang cycle mo, on the 10th day yung fertile day mo. The last fertile day would be on the 19th. So masyadong maaga siya kung i-compare natin sa regular na 28 days, 'di ba? So para maging safe ka pa din dito, although ito yung na-calculate natin, i-move mo pa din siya sa 7th day. Para safe ka pa rin talaga. So, this is your first day, second day, 7th day. And then ito, i-move mo siya ng at least 2 pa rin. No? Whenever sa tingin mo na mas safe ka, doon ka. So, of course, Jaime need to know this. Kahit siya. siya makapag-compute whenever kung ano yung mas ano sa inyo. So,
Mm.
let's say kasi 22 nilalagay ko mostly, no? So, 22nd day yung start of end of the fertility.
Mm.
And then, yan yung 7 talaga, yung regularly. So, from 22nd, bago mag-menstruation ulit ng 28 days, parang haba-haba niyan eh. So, that's your time, no?
Mm.
Yan yung time nyo talaga na that you can really enjoy it.
Mhm.
Yeah. It
Okey.
safer nga talaga yung before. When you know you are 28-day
Oo.
cycle, mas safer talaga yung before your mens. Para at least alam mo na agad, ay hindi ako buntis kasi may mens na. Kaysa
Hmm.
after the menstruation, after or during the menstruation mo pa, let's say example, on the 4th day, nagkaroon kayo ng contact. Parang ang hirap
Mm.
hulaan kung buntis ka o hindi.
Mm. Kasi
Dahil,
it stays din
mm,
inside. Okey.
yeah. Kaya, but if before, malalaman mo na hindi ka nabuntis kasi meron ka na agad menstruation.
Mm.
Oh. So, less worry. Okay. So, yun lang naman yung kailangan ko ano sa inyo. And then, this one, very important to. Um, the cervical mucus, how it looks like. Ito yon.
Mm.
So, if you can still, if you see it, dito tayo sa lower right side. Yan, yun yung kulay niya. Yung egg white.
Mm.
Yung amoy niyan, parang amoy din siya ng fresh na egg. Fresh egg. Hindi yung bulok na egg. So, it's light ganyan and then stretchy.
Mm.
You are fertile. And then the cloudy one, you're still fertile. And having higher tendency, higher possibility of having a girl kung cloudy.
Ano
Step.
po ulit yung reason kung bakit siya nagiging cloudy in the first place? Parang mas ano lang.
Ito
Fre
talaga yung season natin. We have 4 seasons kasi during our menstruation. So
Oh.
ito yung cervical mucus. It protects our cervix. No, ito yung nagka-cover sa cervix natin. So we have this na yung dry season natin, yan yung during our first day of the menstruation, very dry yan. Malalaman mo yung pag nagme-mens ka, may
Mm.
lumalabas na very sticky na kasama ng menstruation.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, that's the dry and tacky. And then after our menstruation, mga hindi naman after pero mga 5th day of your menstruation, nagiging creamy and sticky na siya. Sunod-sunod yan, magfe-first yan during the first day of your menstruation, and then next mapapalitan na siya ng ganito sa mucus natin. Nakahalo yan minsan sa menstruation sa pad natin, nakikita nyo yan. And then hanggang sa unti-unti siya magpapalit from cloudy and then
Hmm.
stretchy. Yon. So, pagpalapit na ng ovulation period natin, napapalitan na siya ng cloudy, stretchy. And then, during our ovulation, yung ating
Clear.
cervical mucus nagiging stretchy because yung ating cervix during that time ay napapalitan na din siya ng alkaline. Kasi naturally, our cervix is acidic.
Mm.
Acidic siya. So just during our ovulation, nagiging alkaline na siya. Kaya nagiging ganyan na rin yung mucus natin. Nagiging
Hmm.
stretchy. It's more of alkaline. Yung amoy nga niyan parang amoy alkaline, no? Chlorine. Yun, ganyan
Hmm.
yung amoy niyan. Na hindi siya pero ganyan talaga yung amoy niya. No? Hindi malansa.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okey.
So, mayroon akong dito. Ito yon. This is according to the studies made by Shettles and Whelan. Pero ako mismo, personally, what I always talaga apply, yung kay Shettles method. Kasi mas siya mas maano siya dun sa accuracy. Tingnan mo yung accuracy ni Shettles is 80 to 85%. But for Whelans kasi, it's only 68% accuracy.
Hmm.
So, lagi akong nagbe-base ng aking ganito sa kay Shettles. No?
Hmm.
For Shettles, pag lalaki, you have to have the sex during only. your ovulation period. So, the sperm deposition there is near cervix or with deep penetration. Kumbaga sa ano to, sa delivery ng LBC, door to door. Ah. Pag
Mm.
sa babae naman, it's ano, pick up at the branch. Why? Because nga, 'di ba, the sperm, yung mga babae na sperm ay they can really travel long. Although they are slower because mabigat sila because of the DNA content that they have complete DNA eh. Ganyan sila. So masyadong mabagal lang sila pero slowly and surely sila nakakapasok talaga dun sa loob. Pero yung
Mm.
mga lalaki, it's very fast. Fast sila kasi very lightweight lang. But then, kulang na kulang sila sa DNA. Kaya pag ano, bumabagsak sila pa isa-isa. Kaya nga
Mm.
pag boy talaga yung gusto ninyo, kailangan talaga, i-ano mo na talaga siya. You have to really door to door na yung delivery. That is why it requires deep penetration. So, yung mga gumagamit ng contraceptive like withdrawal and condom, tendency of having a girl. Kasi ito yung hinuhugot, 'di ba? So, nandun sa vaginal entry. Yung feeling nila hindi nabuntis. Kasi nagkaroon
Mm.
ng breakout pagkalabas. Pero nandoon pala sa vaginal entry. May naiwan pang mga sperms doon. So, the tendency of having a girl.
Mm.
So, as what I have also told you a while ago, 5 days tumatagal pag babae. 3 days lang pag lalaki. And position can also help, no? May mga nagsasabi na hindi naman talaga ano yun, but it can help. Why? Because yung position natin, especially our uterus and cervix, nag-iiba yung posisyon yan. Nag-i-slant yan sa loob, nag-iiba yung posisyon. So sabi ng mga doktor, ng mga experts talaga, the animal or the dog style is the perfect, no? Perfect ano siya, position for those who have inverted yung kanilang cervix.
Mm.
Oo. Kaya may mga ano na nahirapan mag-anak kasi inverted yung cervix nila. No? Kaya the best position for that is yun, paslant position, yung nasa likod. Paslant position para talagang diretso mag slide sa loob. Kahit inverted yan, mapapasok pa din. Kasi pag missionary lang, andun lang sa tuktok. So, gravity pa din. Pag tayo mo na biglang tayo ka, hindi ka nabubuntis niya. No? Possibility na malaglag because of the gravity. Kaya nga pag babae, sabi nila the woman should be on top because of the gravity. At medyo mahirapan na umakyat yung mga lalaki. Oo.
Interest.
So, yeah. So, maraming experts na nag-study. Pero may mga expert tayo sa fertility na they don't encourage this one kasi may mga inverted nga. No?
Mm.
Na umaasa sila na lalaki, lalaki, tapos iba pala yung posisyon nila. Kaya they would encourage kung talaga gusto ninyo na ano, you have to undergo yung ano, scientific methods talaga. Kasi
Mm.
90 to 100% talaga yung implantation. Pero not all, syempre. Kaya 90% kasi hindi naman 100% pa rin. Tinuturok lang kasi yan yung ano, yung sperm doon sa egg cells. So, but
Oh.
for ano naman, for the couple naman na wala naman silang problem, wala naman problema yung system nila, yung uterus, healthy, you are both healthy, then natural could work for you. Because for us, it works. Nakita niyo yung picture kanina dun sa ano natin kanina? That's my family.
Mm.
We're
Oo.
all
Ah.
Actually,
boys.
parang in-assume ko na din before, hindi ako sure. Pero you look really young din.
Yes.
All
So that
Oh.
ends my presentation on family planning, no? Ginawa lang natin siyang compress, no? Kasi we are only given 30 minutes to explain everything, no? Sa sa LGU. So, if you can see, no, doon sa pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, ganito, my family, no? We have all boys. Ayan
Mm.
yan yung application ni Shettles method.
So
Ah.
that was the plan talaga to have all boys?
And we have girl now. Nasa tummy ko.
Oh, wow!
Congrats po!
Congrats!
Yan,
So
ayan, malaki yan, oh.
really works.
Ang galing.
Yes. So
Parang
that's our
bunso pa
plan
yung
talaga,
girl.
to have it boy first, no? Because we want our princess, little princess, to be protected by
Mm.
dapat may
Smart.
mom. Yeah. So
Oh,
that's
share ko nga po 'to sa sister ko, eh, kasi nagta-try na rin po sila for the second one. Tas
yeah.
gusto nila ng girl.
For the
Sana.
girl, dapat malayo-layo pa yung ovulation period. You can
Hmm,
yung yung cloudy, stretchy,
hmm.
and the position. Tandaan mo yung position. Hindi yung tama yung sinasabi na kakanan tapos sa kaliwa. Hindi ganun. It's not about the direction, no? Of course, it will be depend on kung ano yung position ng cervix natin. Nakakapa yung cervix natin eh. Pero mga doktor lang kasi talaga yung very expert on that. Pag
Mm,
introvert, pag inverted, parang paano yung cervix niya. Kaya nahirapan sila magkaanak. Although walang problema sa fertility. So it's a position. And yung binanggit ko kanina at timing. That's
mm.
5 a.m. to 7:30 in the morning. And personally experience and apply it. Kaya talagang yan talaga buhos talaga ng yan, ng application. And
Oh,
then of course, this one, no, yung nasa tiyan ko pala ngayon, yeah, it's talaga girl kasi we used to have our mucus examine during that time. So
hmm.
talagang tiniming ko na siya cloudy, no, during that time. At ang
Ang galing.
posisyon.
Ang
So,
galing.
that's it. A good, just a proper timing. And of course, kailangan yung health pa din ninyo. Since sa Jaime, hindi naman siya alcohol. Kasing alcohol can also, affect also the production. So, yung iba
Mm.
pa nga nagtitake pa sila ng testosterone to have more sperm production. Yeah. So, I hope that you have learned a lot and you have your takeaways. So this time I want to hear from you, your feedback and everything about what you have learned from this pre-marriage counseling and orientation, or if you have anything to ask pa rin, questions. Parang shock pa si Jaime.
Mauna ka
Mm,
na.
um, not naman shock, but like different learnings din
Interesting.
sa science especially.
Mm,
And I guess overall, feel ko these kinds of sessions, like counseling in general or orientations, are good for couples naman because a lot of people don't do these kinds of I mean, Anjan and I communicate regularly naman, but like what about for the
mm,
couples who don't? So baka it's important for them to take these sessions so that at least it enters their mind na kailangan mag-communicate, like these are the expectations. Parang a lot of people just go into it not knowing anything or
mm.
not planning around to communicate or what constitutes marriage or why marriages fail. Parang
Yes.
it's good to go in with more information. Parang like even the common reasons
Mm,
marriages fail, it's good to know that also. Para you know what to avoid if you're obviously the goal is to have a good marriage. So like just knowing the common traps or common failures will really help you have a good marriage. So I think it's a good service to have and
mm.
understanding why this is required before getting a marriage license.
Yes. What's your take, Angela? Angela?
Agreed. Pero actually, I can really see as mentioned nga by Ado, parang it's the importance of it na knowing what you're getting into and yung mga possible pa na ma-experience nyo during the marriage life. Kasi nga, this is a permanent decision na you can't back
Mm,
out. So, dapat parang na-set na yung expectations mo bago ka pa pumasok. And I feel like it's helpful din, and personally, parang naka-relate din ako dun sa mga ibang na-bring up kanina na possible conflict or what yung wants ng husband and wife na na-validate na at least if these were the problems na we experienced before tapos medyo nagiging okay na kami ngayon. So validated na parang actually these were real problems pala before, and good job sa amin, I guess, for parang figuring it out before we entered the the marriage, kasi apparently it's something that really happens to
Mm.
people in reality. And then very interesting din sa akin yung knowledge about the family planning, kasi it's not something na you hear na parang in general lang, or parang it's not something you always hear or about. So, who else will tell you about it if not dito sa mga counseling? Um, I think yun lang. I think I got a lot from this session then. And setting expectations for the both of us na noted. Noted for, even though we're not planning to have kids then anytime soon, ang cool.
You
You
have the
can
idea already.
parang may idea ko na on what you're gonna do. And then at the same time, if kayo pa nga namin in the next few years, we know the alternatives on how to um, family plan or control it. And then if parang plan na rin namin, like, oh, we can actually make it na girl and boy pala if if we know the right methods of doing it. So very knowledgeable yung marami akong nakuha knowledge from this session then.
Of course, you can have it researched by your own also, so that you can get more knowledge about this, because everything that I have discussed are all no, it's ano naman, you can see it in the internet, no, you can see it, you can research about that, so that you can have it on your own, no? Even if you have to, you can even share to your friends, your relatives, to your ate, diba? So it's good that you have the basis. So that is, it's really how important to have basis in everything that we discuss here. It's not just about opinions. It's more of course, there will be basis references, and some of it are personal experiences that we have been experienced. So overall, how do you rate this counseling session that we have?
Very good. 10 out of 10.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
Agree. I learned a lot, actually. At saka na-enjoy ko rin po yung session. Parang taking into account yung rating with our instructor, which is you. It feels very comfortable to open up and share experiences then. So I think it's a 10 out of 10.
Wow. So thank
I guess
you.
same, I mean, also because nga we opted for the private session. I can't imagine what this is like pag marami tayo. I mean, it'll be
Ako
more like an
usually tahimik din ako.
Mm,
orientation. Yeah, it'll be an orientation versus yun nga, counseling session, which the point was more to be open and to actually have
mm.
counsel versus just being told this and that. And parang baka we won't absorb it lang if it's pag group session.
So thank you so much for the appreciation, and thank you so much for the feedback, and of course for the rating. And of course for your certificate would be available most likely on Monday na. Because
Mm.
Saturdays we don't have staff. During Saturdays, we have counseling also for the Saturday. So Monday afternoon, we would expect your digital copy first. And
Okay.
then how are you going to pick it up here? Pick it up?
Yeah, we can arrange stuff. If you can just send us the exact address and who to look
Yes.
for, we should be able to have it picked up naman.
Yes, we will of course include all the details during the digital copy. We'll send you this digital copy along with the details, how you're going to pick it up. So the contact person that you're going to contact. So that's it. So good luck to you, and more blessings to come. So
Thank you.
we have a
Okay,
photo
thank
shoot.
Congratulations din po pala sa pregnancy.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Yeah. So have our photo shoot.
Ah,
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. So thank you so much, and have a good
You
day.
you also, thank you so much.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.